I don't know that I'm being recorded. Sorry, FBI man.
And that's how we start the stream. All right. I wish there was a way I could have a go live like icon in Discord so you could see when I flip it from one to the other. But
No, it's way more fun. And
yeah,
it's just like the NSA and FBI. They're like, you don't know that I'm recording.
You could do
Keep
that
doing
on
what you're doing.
OBS, right? You could have that on your virtual camera, right?
yeah, I could. Well, I could allow you guys to watch what I'm doing. It just shows up also in the stream, so they'd be able to see this weird mirror.
Do a little countdown.
Yeah.
And we're live in 3, 2, 1.
Well, I've got
do-
another group that I help out with that the one of the players always tries to time it so that right as the stream goes live, he says, "Don't forget to pick your nose." So that becomes like his go-to. Sometimes he misses it, sometimes he hits it perfect.
Well, I mean, you got to do the finger wave at the very end when you're going live.
Oh.
To be fair, I did do that. You just can't see me.
Everyone can see me. Y'all are hidden behind the beautiful portraits you've selected. I mean, Carl Urban, beautiful man. All right. So, where we last left our intrepid adventurers, or no, hardened criminals. That's how I start this one.
Hey, whoa! I'm not hard. I'm a soft and squishy criminal.
You guys are in Vladivostok. It is October 1st, 2078.
Does Vladivostok celebrate Oktoberfest?
Not officially, but I mean, anywhere you have a celebration around drinking, it naturally will spread. I mean, Cinco de Mayo.
I mean, they probably celebrate the October Revolution.
Yeah, that's true. So yeah,
I do want to clarify. He may look a lot like Carl Urban, but that's actually Danila Kozlovsky.
oh, that's true. Is it?
They look a lot like now that you mention it. You're right.
Holy criminy! That is not. All right, I'm totally wrong on that.
I picked that portrait because of the name you gave me, and I was like, this can look a lot like my character. That sounds great.
So, in one of those rare cases where the fake name matches your physical, well, I mean, it's a high rating, so it makes sense. Chaos will be joining us shortly, but you guys were trying to figure out. You've got a safe house. You've got a little bit of extra sort of favors with Falstivishtiv. So it's kind of like, well, how are we going to go hit our intended target? Well, I'm going to go pull through my notes to go find that name again. Anatoly Kirilenko? Sounds right.
Is that the CEO?
Yes. That is Anatoly Kirilenko. Yep. You know that you have to hit him in about 6 weeks. That gives you 6 weeks to figure out how you want to go about it. Or actually, better yet, come up with a series of plans on how you want to go about it, because that will mean you've got to work some contacts, be able to get the right equipment, that sort of thing.
So was it Rash's idea for Fumiko to potentially seduce him to be able to manipulate his schedule, or was that a
More an out of character idea. I don't think Rash would actually come up with that one.
fair enough?
So you get Beef. You get a call.
Hello.
It
Hey, Beef.
yeah looks like it's from Night. Go ahead.
Where are you?
Well, I was, I had to leave town for a while. I was going to see if Chaos wanted some of that Russian food sometimes. You know how she likes odd food and this and that.
Mm-hmm.
And I just happen to be around some right now. I was going to see if she wanted to pick some up for her.
I think we are probably good on Russian food front.
Really?
Yeah. We're at the source, in fact.
I'm
One of
not
the
too.
sources.
I don't think I'm too far away from that.
You're not in LA?
Not right now. That's why I was going to try and pick something up since I happen to be around
Hmm.
and head back
Well,
that direction.
where are you? We're outside Vladivostok.
I'm just north of there a little ways.
You hungry?
Well, yeah, that sounds like a plan.
We can meet up. We're
What are
working a
y'all
job.
doing in Vladivostok? Would y'all
Um,
like some help?
we might just. We haven't settled on a plan yet, but we could use some extra head, I guess.
Sweet. Send me the location and I'll head y'all's way.
I'll ping a restaurant or something in the area. I'll look at the Yelp by Microsoft, Google, Yahoo star ratings, and I'll send over a message in about 5 minutes, picking out a. Let's see.
I mean, it's probably the Russian version, which is there's probably two of them. You've got the Evo one, which is a little bit more open about like the ratings, and then you've got the Russian one, which you can tell the ones that are owned by government officials because they all have all 5-star.
Is there a good borscht place to cleanse the taste of the hospital borscht out of my mouth?
I searched
That's
for
medical grade borscht. You ain't getting rid of that.
I searched
I've
for
been
borscht,
pooping red for a week.
and it gives me British Columbia borscht. That is the wrong type of borscht.
But did you search for however borscht is spelled in Cyrillic?
No, because I do not know how to spell it in Cyrillic.
It looks like there's a place called Supra.
Is that over in the north side where you're at, or are you looking someplace else?
That is far to the. It's sort of on the whatchamacallit, the spit out to the southwest. So more in downtown, it seems. Let's see.
Should be easy enough for Knight to get down there.
And then I'll ping the rest of the crew and let them know. Hey, turns out Knight's around. I'm gonna meet up for some food, and maybe we can work them into our plans.
There we go. That's how you spell it in Cyrillic. Incredible health benefit is that when you're finished eating it, everything looks like you're pooping red.
They even have Russian borscht. Gold's classic Russian borscht. Or low-calorie borscht.
What is low-calorie borscht?
I don't know, but it definitely is more bubbly than the Russian borscht.
Doesn't sound so good.
Yeah, there's bubbles at the top, whereas the picture of the Russian one does not have that problem.
It's like it's airy, like almost like cotton candy has like no calories because it's mostly air, right?
Yeah, I just whipped it so much that
Exactly how it
90% air.
Whipped borscht.
It's like a Miracle Whip tub. It's just red.
All right, so Beef, do you let everybody know like you're gonna go out for some lunch and pick up an extra runner? Like, what's the plan?
Yep. Well, I let him know Knight's in town, and if we need another pair of hands, he's probably down. But I'm gonna meet up, grab some food with him, and have a chat. So I guess I go do that.
Anybody going with Beef?
Rash will take along.
Okay. I mean,
If someone.
it's food, right?
Woden, at the mention of that, Woden will tag along too if he's able.
It was they were going for borscht, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely not.
I mean, it's probably going to be like, I don't think there are, I could be very wrong about this, but I don't think there are borscht restaurants. Like you wouldn't have a potato soup restaurant.
It is Russia.
It might be a...
Russia and Ireland are the two that could stereotypically pull that off.
Potato soup restaurant.
It's like, we sell nothing but borscht. We sell 14 different kinds of borscht.
Yeah, Russia seems like the kind of place that, you know, stereotypically could be like, yeah, that's a thing now.
I could see either the very poor restaurants and all they have on the menu is borscht,
Borscht of the day.
or like near Evo where they've got the like borscht fusion restaurant where everything is borscht, but it's all sorts of weird styles.
It reminds me of that old eggs and spam bit from Monty Python where it's like, spam and eggs, spam eggs. Everything has eggs and spam in different varieties.
And if they're able to run a business, I say if it ain't borscht, don't fix it.
Ooh.
We gotta put that name on the map. It ain't borscht, right. Don't fix it.
That sounds like a great restaurant we should open. I'll go with as long.
I feel like that should be somewhere in the downtown area to get the Evo employees.
Yeah. I like
as
that.
long as it's a restaurant that serves more than borscht, I will go with them.
Okay. I mean, you can also have the borscht place. I know that
they
Seattle had the worst. They had the worst place. That did nothing but bratwurst.
Yeah, you could have it's the worst. No, it's the borscht.
It was the borscht of times. It was the worst of times.
Oh, there you go. Even better.
Oh.
And the whole restaurant could just be sad and slightly too cold.
I like this. This is stupid and funny.
So we go to the borscht and sausage restaurant.
Borscht and worst?
Yep.
It was the borscht of times. It was the worst of times.
All right. So yeah, you gather those that are interested, which sounds like it's Rash, Woden, and Fumiko, to meet up with Knight. You get there. It's probably around 2 p.m., so it's a little after the lunch crowd. So the place is pretty empty, other than some staff. My guess is you guys arrive there before Knight does. Anything you guys want to do before he arrives?
I'll order a drink.
If it's a Russian restaurant, they do offer vodka.
Vodka on tap.
Yeah.
This is draft water.
Yeah.
Tasty. I will ask Rash if he can, run a check for cameras and other listening devices.
I will do such a check.
Okay.
Let's see.
Aaron, I feel very, very slighted. Everybody has a cool little circle, and I don't. So mean.
I don't have anything to represent your character.
Oh, sorry. I never look at the main page because I've got my Discord is just all green, so that when it rolls dice, it rolls over the top of our faces on the stream.
Oh yeah.
I put those up front just from the like character pics and stuff people had uploaded already.
I can flip it over there.
So if you want to send me a pic, I'd be happy to get you on there.
Although I am kind of curious what every time it like starts out fine with my video overlay, and then it just decides that it doesn't want a video overlay anymore.
Well, if it's OBS, then you always have to kick it and tell it to go.
Pretty much.
Start virtual camera, please. Did you roll those beautiful dice?
Uh, there it is.
All right, you got 6 successes. Incredible. So you can see that there are. It looks like the normal set of cameras that you'd expect in Matrix devices. You can see that there's a host. The cameras that are easily spottable appear to be over the cash register, over the entrance, both inside and out, and then over the rear entrance. But you do also spot a camera that appears like somebody intended to hide it, which is looking out over the entire restaurant. And you see another one that looks like it's supposed to be hidden that's over the entire sort of back kitchen area. You don't see any microphones or any of that type of stuff, other than maybe there's one attached to the camera. Yeah, that's what you see.
Okay. I just like loop the cameras for a little while or something.
Yeah, you
You
do.
said they're mics, right? Just cameras. Yeah.
Yeah, you check the host. It's a pretty low level host, so yeah, you can buy hits and
Okay.
and loop those cameras.
Makes it easy.
Yep.
All right. So
I'll activate.
shoot a message back. Cameras are covered. No mics.
Okay.
All right, so you guys order appetizers or the equivalent of while you're waiting for night to roll in. Night rolls in a little bit late, just due to downtown traffic and him coming from out of town. And I will leave it up to you guys now.
Hey, Knight, good to see you.
Yeah, what are y'all doing over here? On these snack of the woods.
Big job.
Oh.
We'll be here for a couple months. You have plans?
Well, I just finished up a little job. It didn't turn out much, but yeah, I had a little downtime coming, so sounds like a plan.
You have contacts in this neck of the woods?
Very, very, very few. My contacts sent me here, so I was basically using their ends and going from there.
Same boat. We've been trying. I've been trying to find a good contact, but Bolshevik Stev really screwed me.
On occasion, I would run across a pretty good bottle of vodka here and there. But that guy was part of that other group that I came over and talked with.
Well, you want to kill anyone while you're over here?
Kill anyone? When have I ever done anything like that?
And Fumiko turns on the rating 6 white noise generator after hearing that, and is just kind of like face palm.
Beef's talking in English. It's fine, right? Right?
I can switch over to Zoo. But yeah, Beef will look over at Fumiko and go, "Oh, right. So, do you want to kill anyone while you're over here?"
So through my comm, I don't know if I'm connected to the comms. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Are you sub-vocaling or like?
Yes, subvocaling.
Resh just puts a hand over their face.
Big job, big payout. We haven't quite cracked how we're going to do it, but we have some ideas. Well, Rash, Fumiko, do you think Knight here could help us?
Sure.
Who is this person again?
I don't know this person either.
I know Rash and I know Beef. I don't know the other two. And I'm like, who's Fumiko?
We've worked together, Knight and Rash and I. This is Fumiko. Very nice to look at. Great at talking
Hello.
and finding things.
Ah.
Yeah. I'd be happy to have you on board.
Well, if you don't mind vouching for me, let's get someplace where we can talk a little more.
Like, you still haven't told us who this is.
This is Knight. We've worked together.
He does
And
stuff.
Knight is willing to leave it at that until I know a little bit more about them. And that's, I guess, the same way around.
I'm going to go get refill. You'll talk amongst yourselves. Beef will stand up and walk back over and get a refill.
And does love his borscht.
Probably been a long time since Beef actually had good borscht.
But it's good borscht.
One moment while I do a random roll.
Which restaurant did we end up going to?
I think you went to. It was the best or the worst of time. It was the borscht of times, or
Worst of times, worst of times.
oh, this is actually a really good borscht place. Like top notch. Some of the best you've ever had. Wait, is Beef wearing the tracksuit?
Yeah, he's still in the tracksuit.
Yeah, it'd be weird if he wasn't.
He's trying to fit in.
Well, Fumiko, let's just say I'm a little bit of the muscle.
Sounds good.
Is Beef going to introduce Woden, or just like?
I said talk amongst yourselves.
God damn, man. So what character introductions? What does Knight look like?
Human. Kind of Hispanic in tone and look. Has that kind of an accent. I can't pull it off, so I don't try. And I just look like a human. I don't have any kind of visible cyberware or anything like that.
Big and muscled?
Fairly, yeah. Not overly muscled, just 6 foot, about 200, solid.
You can tell that there's a difference between necks and heads. That's a key sign of overly muscled.
Yeah. I have a neck, but it's not. Yeah, it's not fully squished by the shoulders.
Yeah, when the shoulders are more of an overpass instead of a road, that's a little too much. Yeah.
All right, so you guys get your food. They don't seem to really notice or care any of the white noise generator. Like, even if you were to leave it up, like, they would deliver your food and then just walk away. After your food, I assume you guys are heading back to the safe house? or one of the safe houses.
Sure, yeah, that makes sense. I will invite Knight to come crash in the lower lifestyle place.
Mind if I catch a ride too?
Sure thing. Got a panel van. Or the GMC, keep thinking Astra, but that's not it. Universe.
It's Universe, yeah. It is the equivalent of the Astra van.
Astra van. All right.
So I am playing a new character that you haven't met before. Woden is also human. He is tanned Caucasian, and he is also pretty muscular, but not overly so. Seems to be pretty well able to move around agilely as well.
Okay.
And
Yes.
he will probably be the one to get in the driver's seat. Good driving.
Well, that's better than me driving. I drive, but it's not very good.
I have a rank. It's all good.
That's about what I got.
So you get back to the lower lifestyle safe house. Likely Spin Jim is in the back room tinkering with some of his drones, attempting to do some minor repairs and normal maintenance. You've got Blue. Was Blue going to end up staying with the high lifestyle folks? Do you recall?
Yes.
Okay. So Blue and Attenborough, you're told, are part of the crew, and they're currently helping Chaos out at one of the other safe houses.
Ah, okay.
When you ask what the job is, does anybody want to tell them what the job is?
You know Evo? Familiar with Evo?
No.
Big corporation over here. We're going to kill the CEO.
Okay. If it's
Million plus payday
They
altogether.
didn't leave, so that's a good sign.
Oh no, he's a good guy.
Most normal folks would be this man.
yeah, I've gone down this path or similar path before.
Killing
How much?
CEOs?
Not so much CEOs, but higher ups.
Yeah.
And oof, lots of planning goes in. That's why you're gonna be here a while.
Yeah. And that's why we're also making the big bucks.
True.
It was a 1.3, right? Was what we
Making me go
negotiated
back
up to?
to my notes.
I think I think it was actually just 1.1, and we got the extra 100.
Oh, okay. I have 1.1 written down,
Yeah,
but for some reason in my head, I thought we had negotiated up to 1.3.
It was 1.1, and you also got the cargo containers to keep.
Right.
Which I believe they're being like shipped back right now.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're being sent back to good old LA.
So yeah, big payday split across the team. We got a couple contacts around this area. We've done a job for one to get some false IDs, and we've so far managed to stay off the radar, we think. So, the timer is 6 weeks. We need to get this done, or we'll have some very difficult conversations with our Johnson.
Okay. Not that it matters, but is there a reason why the CEO needs to go?
I don't think
Probably.
we asked.
Okay.
I think you did ask, and he said he didn't tell you why.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
Okay.
There are some extra details also. Other than one of them that we were given the name of that the Johnson didn't care what happened to, we need to make sure not to seriously injure any of the other executives.
So they can be injured, just not seriously. Gotcha.
Specifically, we were told the others were off limits for killing. I don't think we got into specifics about hospitalization, but anything that would be potentially life-threatening is pretty much off the table.
Okay.
Getting a little roughed up, less of an issue. But things like exploding a bomb in a room that has other executives in it would probably be a bad idea.
Okay. So keep them alive.
Exciting, right?
Very much so.
Big opportunities.
I like the idea.
Knight, how's your
I like
Russian?
the job. It is not good.
You, if you've got spare karma on your trip across Russia, which is what you were doing beforehand, you may want to spend some karma and learn some Russian.
Okay, I have to figure out how much karma I have. I have 24 karma right now.
More than enough.
That's
Although
funny.
you spent some of it on initiating, right?
I did that. I already have that
Okay.
taken out. I had like 50 karma at one point, or 45, something like that.
Okay.
And I'd taken all that out.
And so all that's left on your personal to-do list is your weapon foci.
Yes. For those two.
Okay.
Where am I at here? Or I did the ordeal and initiate for minus 27, and I already took that off. That was the last thing I took off, and I added 7 for a reward. So
okay.
Yeah, I need to look at. I've got Spanish and English.
Yep, you'll
but
want
I
to pick up
need
Russian.
to add Russian. So
and Yakut,
Ooh.
because that's where you were.
yeah. Add language. I'm trying to do this in Chummer, and you know me and working with Chummer.
So yeah, you guys sort of catch him up on the research that you've done, some of the information that you've gotten so far, and some of the assets at your disposal. Just while Chris is updating Knight. And so you all come to the consensus that yes, we should figure out how we want to off the person, especially if we don't want to kill the surrounding executives. We want this to be targeted.
Well, one of the big things that we need to decide is if we want to try and lure him off of company grounds, finding some way to get in and find out what sort of schedule he keeps. We had some information that he doesn't always stay on the, he doesn't always stay here in Vladivostok. So, best trappings of a good hunter is to lay the trap where you know that they're going to be isolated. Get them out in the open.
Well, as the group's decker, I am not willing to hack into Evo's headquarter host to take their CEO's personal data out of it.
Okay, that's fair. We have any other way we could? I mean, maybe we could make
We could
some
try to schedule a
contact.
meeting.
You know, we're going to need to know the right people to be able to schedule that meeting. So maybe get to know some people that could put us in touch with people that are put us in touch with people that can get that information high up.
Yeah, if we can get a meeting, it should guarantee he's in a place at a time. But certainly getting a meeting with the CEO of Evo isn't easy.
Not going to be easy. No. So we need to do some
Could we
elbow
not?
rubbing or something to maybe.
Could we not get a meeting with their security, which would lead to that? A meeting with their CEO, or at least their board?
Under what pretenses?
That's, I mean, just we could start scuttle or something in the air and then go from there. You know, say we were working on another way, from another angle, and happened to notice this and wanted to bring it to their attention, and not be focused on the CEO but on the company itself.
So, Knight, your character has worked with As Technology in the past, correct?
Yes.
What your character would know is if anybody had contacted through your security network, like, hey, we have a meaningful threat against the CEO or against the company, we'd like to meet with the CEO to discuss it. You would have laughed them away. You would have been basically like,
Yeah.
there is no way you're meeting with the CEO. Like, you can come talk to us, and we'll go over and collect information from you, and then you can go on your way. And if it's good information, we may send you a little bit of compensation.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, that would have been at least an end of maybe figure out what their pattern is what I was thinking.
Okay, so your info gathering specifically on the security of the organization.
Yes. And then I was trying to find that. I got Russian. I did 2 karma in Russian, but the other one I can't find.
You'd have to manually type it in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Chummer just has the most common ones.
Okay.
Apparently, Yakut's not common.
Odd how it's only spoken in one country.
But if you play a shifter character, there's a good chance. Well, not a good chance. There's a chance that you would want to speak Yakut.
There isn't.
Smokey only went there once.
Was he born there?
No.
He's totally fine. But there's others that do care. Because Yakut's a shifter nation for the most part. It's more complicated. Yeah, it's more complicated than that, but
It's a shifter nation in the way that Tir Tangier is an elf nation.
Yeah.
Like there aren't other people.
and it's not
They
like
just
they're
don't have the same rights.
well, and you've got a lot of spirits and shamans as well. Like it is a magic heavy nation.
I mean, even the shaman, if they're not shifters or animals, I should say too.
Do they just have do they have some awakened animals?
Well, they'll everywhere around the world does.
I meant more like sapient animals, but yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean like the savannas of Africa. You can run into shaman lions.
That's
Yeah.
terrifying because the lion itself was already dangerous enough, just chasing me down and eating me, and now it's gonna cast spells while it's chasing me down. I don't like that at all.
In Earth Dawn, shaman lions were known as some of the most steadfast horror slayers.
I mean, I like that part, but I don't necessarily like it trying to kill me.
But that just tells you how powerful some of them get, though. Like, yep, they
Hey,
were hunting.
Aaron,
Yeah.
to finish cleaning this up, I put 2 in Russian and 2 in Yakut.
Okay. Two ranks or 2 karma?
2 karma.
Okay, so 1 rank.
Well, 1.5 ranks.
No, wait. You're right.
It says
Yeah.
6 out next to it, and then 5 because it's on
Intuition.
Intuition, and the other one's on logic. Yakut, but it should be on intuition too, right?
It'd be on intuition.
Yeah, they should both be rated as languages.
Languages. Yeah, I'm gonna delete that and try and redo it.
It's probably, I don't know. In Shumber, does it have you select what type of knowledge skill it is?
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, it's street or
It
academic.
does. You
It says new
Is-
knowledge skill, and it just
There should
gives me
be.
a drop down.
there's a drop down for like over on the right to the right of that. There's a drop down for what type of skill it is, and you want to select language.
Okay.
If I'm remembering correctly.
Yes, it did. It had.
It defaults to essentially academic.
Yeah, there it goes. Gotcha. Thank you. But yeah, I put 2 in each of those, so I'm at.
It costs 1 karma for the first rank and 2 karma for the second rank.
Yeah. So I've got.
Thank you, Sean.
I got to add back in 3 karma because I did Yakut twice. So I gotta.
If
You can undo it.
You can delete the entry, and it'll refund you the karma.
And if it doesn't,
Okay.
you can go to your list of changes to your character, right click on the one you don't want, and undo it. It'll refund then.
I think that's
Yeah.
what Ben was talking about.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Okay, I've got it right now. It's at 16 or 18 karma. Because I spent 3 for Russian and 3 for Yakut.
Sounds good.
Perfect. Thank you.
All right, so it sounds like we have some ideas. We've got meet with security, attempt to do info gathering on them, try to find some way to get scheduled with CEOs or make contacts within the upper echelon. But that's one still a little fuzzy.
I feel like that one's gonna be one of those things that's gonna take quite a bit of setup to do, not just a couple phone calls, but like weeks.
Yeah, I mean,
of setting up.
we need to like make contacts that can put us in touch with other contacts that could potentially like manipulate the upper echelons of a corporation like that.
There's also the rumor bill of trying to figure out what the individual's schedule is. Basically, info gathering on Anatoly. I don't believe anybody's necessarily dug into the individual.
Searches, no.
The way you want to take the individual out, like there's probably a couple ideas that you have in mind. I assume.
We could do some sort of long range attack. The drone strike we did before is possible, although we'll want to scale it down.
I doubt we're going to. I mean, and it's possible we'll find out information that will contradict this. But the CEO of a Big 10 megacorp, I doubt we're going to get anything flying into his airspace without somebody stopping it before it gets there.
That's fair.
Same with, somebody with a gun getting near him. It seems, off of first impressions at least, I would think either a long range shot or something immediately like originating from closer than his security guards are to him. If somebody can get that close,
Car bomb.
a car bomb maybe. I mean, it could be the old, pistol pressed into somebody's gut before firing the trigger.
Mm.
I just think someone drawing a weapon from outside of, say, arm's reach is going to get security interfering too much.
Could always go the classic long range sniper from miles away.
Yeah, I mean, it's a classic for a reason. We just have to get him in a position that uh, leaves him open to it from a position we can um, take up for the shop.
Poisons or toxins?
Killing hands or something very close.
Yeah, that would go with the closer than his guards approach.
Yeah.
I mean, I could certainly do that, but we definitely need some sort of really good prep work to to make sure that whoever's that doesn't get gacked themselves.
Yeah, you need
Aaron,
that would require plans to get out.
how long would or how long and what would I have to do? I've been thinking about doing this a while. Anyways, to get the immunity, because you can get like Narcojet lipstick, but I would have to get like the natural immunity to Narcojet, or I'd have to use some sort of barrier or whatever. How long would you and what would I have to do to get that natural immunity equality, obviously?
That was in Cutting Aces, wasn't it?
No, the immunity is in core rulebook, I think, but the
He's
lipstick
talking
I
about the
want to say
gear.
was in hard top or hard targets, if I remember correctly.
Could also potentially use we could use either like an antitoxin or I know Attenborough learned detox. We could potentially use she could also learn another spell that would give you heavy resistance to the
Sorry, stolen souls. Well,
Does it say
I
how
mean,
to use it?
detox for me wouldn't work because I'd be flopping on the ground until you were able to cast detox. And generally speaking, it would be in some sort of more intimate, relationship or whatever. I mean, I could do a different type of lipstick that just kills instead of like, incapacitates. It would sure make getting coffee easier in the mornings.
Chaos also says she can use spell shaping and some destructive magic to basically kill the target and not everyone around him, depending on how many guards there are.
Yeah, that would probably be akin to the sniper shot.
So if
Potential defensive issues with either of them be a little different, but a very similar approach.
I mean, Chaos could do it while in flux, so it'd be nigh impossible to track her down.
Right. I'm thinking more. Bullets might be easier to track actually than your spell. To figure out for us to have to like drop some heat. But if he's got any mages on staff protecting him from spells, that could interfere with how hard it hits. So I think it's just as viable as a sniper shot. Might be easier to get in a situation to do it.
Yeah, we wouldn't have to set up as like prepared sniper's nest
Right.
because you could just do it from anywhere.
Anywhere you can see him from, and maybe a pair of binoculars to see him from further away.
if I was a CEO of a corporation, depending on where I was going, does the mana barrier, does that actually require you to to anchor it, or can it be anchored on like area or anchored on a person?
You're going to have a mage with you constantly using actions to shift the position of it along with you.
So
Yeah,
as a
but that's not,
as a CEO, I would probably have at least 3 to 4 on my staff doing that constantly. Kind of like most of the special forces teams. When you read the read ups of some of them, they have a mage or two on each team that just do that. They just apply spells before people go out and just maintain them and crap.
I mean, yeah, that's a good point.
yeah, I would agree. He's probably got magical defense of some sort up.
Yeah.
The extent of it, who knows? And
I
there's
mean, if
no
it's just
and there's no saying he doesn't have magical defenses that are more geared towards physical attacks than magical attacks. Also,
I mean, if it was just a mage doing counterspell, I'm pretty sure Chaos's dice pool could probably override that fairly simply. But yeah,
sure.
So just to recap what I've gotten written down from the brainstorming, we've got either a sniper or a long range spell shaped attack, something from distance. Or we could go near and dear, where you've got something like killing hands, or maybe pistol between the ribs.
I could also do a close range spell shaped attack.
True. We also have car bomb. I think I was the only one that threw that one out there.
I feel like car bombs and poison are gonna require a whole nother level of like intricacy to make sure they get both to get us in position to do it, to get the right target, and to get rid of heat afterwards.
Yeah,
so
toxin, poison, lipstick.
the car bomb is the simple one because depending on their route and depending on what they how they clear their route, you would just drive up 2 vehicles, one on each side kind of deal, and then you would have a large amount of explosives in each one, and you detonate at the same time, and basically they tamp each other and crush the vehicle like a beer can. And it just boils down to whether or not the team is fast enough to realize what's happening, to kind of stop it. And even at that point, you're gonna disable the vehicle so you can finish it off at that point. Or if the team is capable of providing 360 protection by blocking everybody out, then it becomes slightly more difficult.
Yeah, no, that could be an option. We'd have to see if he even takes cars anywhere, but um, if he only takes like personal helicopters to get places, that would be a bit more difficult to pull off. But I do like the idea of a rolling car bomb situation like that, if we can arrange it.
Sounds like a gang of scoots.
Sorry, what was that?
We use the gang of scoots strategy. Follow the ram plates and car bombs.
Oh, I've got a character specifically built around that concept. Ooh, let's do this.
I was doing also a little bit of research on laced lipstick within the edition, aka they ain't much.
No,
Or
not at all.
And fourth is the same.
It's basically just this is you could apply it to your lips and hope either you have protection already on it, which it doesn't mention how, or you make yourself immune to it, and then good luck.
Yeah, natural immunity, which is a quality.
Yeah.
It just so happens that over the years I've been building up an immunity to
Iocane poison.
Ah, the classic building immunity.
iocane. I'd risk my reputation on it.
Hey, I shoot myself with small caliber bullets to make myself more immune to large caliber ones.
So far, he's capable of taking a 50 cal, and he's fine. If you want to learn his secrets, it's only $49.99. Credit cards accepted only.
No credit cards, because you don't want anyone putting a block on that payment. All right, so looks like there's
Cash on it.
4 major approaches, either long range, short range, something explosive, or ramming, or the application of a toxin poison via either via the gas method, direct application, injection, right? Bunch of different
We
options.
could always do the snake special and just go steal a gas tanker and ram that into whatever, and you know, put a physical barrier around it and watch it just detonate.
The pink mohawk in me loves this. I have to be careful of letting my pink mohawk wild.
The problem is making sure none of his security intercepts it.
Well, I mean,
I have
when
a
you've got
question.
like a 40-ton rig, it's a little difficult to stop.
Who's to say the security can't be paid off?
That's why one of the things we're going to look into is the security.
Yeah, my guess is given the amount of money available to the person we're after, he's paying his security enough that we're not going to be able to afford to pay them off without giving up all of our pay.
I mean, that's probably true. However, carrot, now stick. We kidnap a few of their family members, and I'm sure they'll do just about anything we want.
Oh, that sounds fun.
Yeah, see?
Or
Much easier.
carrot and beat them with the stick.
Yes.
No, that sounds like crowbar strategy.
You just beat him with the carrot. It's fine.
Beat them with their family members, keep the carrot and the money.
So the what I was talking about before about using magic to resist, if we used the prophylaxis spell, it would give bonus dice to resist the toxin. It would counteract the beneficial effects of whatever drugs you use, but it wouldn't cause you to crash on them. It just blocks the effect.
Yeah, me crashing on cocaine would be really problematic.
Like I said, it doesn't cause the crash, it just blocks the effect.
So, I think, unless somebody has other ideas, I think those are really your 4 main approaches. And probably need to get specific at some point, but at least you know roughly what's your options, and you should probably know which ones you prefer, and like what's your first choice, second choice. And then in terms of info gathering, it sounds like you want to meet with security. You probably need some contacts within the upper echelon or within the support staff for the upper echelon, because you want to determine schedule or find ways to gain information about your target.
Did we figure out the request was for him to be assassinated at a specific time?
Yeah.
Within a specific time frame.
A 2-week period.
Right. So did we figure out if that was because we knew he would be in the area or some other reason that we weren't
We don't
privy
know
to?
why.
Okay.
Out of character, it's so that it meets the requirement of the timeline.
Ours is not to question why. Ours is to do and die.
I've
So-
come up with a reason.
What we've been talking about, it seems to me like maybe a good approach for us to take would be, given that we're going to have a limited time window, even if it is 2 weeks, and that a failed attempt is likely to give him heightened security for anything else going on, we should probably prepare 2 approaches to take him out so we don't have to start back from square one if something doesn't work.
Yeah.
And we also need, or at least would be very helpful, to have someone get in a position to get solid information on his and possibly other higher ups' movement and schedule.
I mean, that's a valid strategy, and you see it in different movies and different stuff like that, where if we learn the security measures and the protocols, we have a failed attempt that purposely fails rather spectacularly, and they are forced to deviate to secondary protocols, and that's where we're waiting, and we hit them because usually the secondary protocols are obviously not as secure.
Put a bomb in his bomb shelter and then make him go to the bomb shelter. I think
Yeah. So, but if we do split up that way, that would essentially be making it so we want somebody getting to know and doing a lot of information gathering on the higher ups in the company, and then 2 teams setting things up, possibly working together, possibly working separately, but setting up 2 hits. And whoever's getting the info on the company, depending on how they were going to go about it, might be in a position that they want to have extra secure or extra squeaky clean, rather, any trace on them, anyone looking into them. I mean, that would very much depend on how they're getting the information, but if it's a like working into the, getting a job as a secretary or something in the company, any checks the company runs need to come back clean, which means nothing that we're doing here can be at all tied to them.
yeah, I think it's an oldie but a goodie. I think the bullet through a window be a good sort of primary thing to work off of, and then we can build redundancy in. So
The problem is figuring out windows that are accessible, and we need to get targeting info from the inside,
mhm.
which we could work at, especially if we have someone on the inside that could, you know, never have given any indication to mistrust them, and then day of the hit has a camera feed running to an outside group.
Beef could be the inside man. Very subtle.
We are here to kill someone.
Woden turns to him and says, "Tell me a lie."
He just did. You didn't believe him.
You see, it's already working out.
Oh God.
Yeah, so I had to take my headphones off. So we're working with the potentials are like sniper shot, poison, close up, assassination, and or were those wrong? What was the other one we were thinking of?
Something explosive.
Car bomb.
Oh, so like a controlled explosion somewhere.
The explosion and the poison, I feel like were, depending on information we get, they may be viable. They may be very difficult to pull off depending on situations.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone got out of the van, right? You guys are all over at the low lifestyle house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're having this conversation more or less over comms.
Yeah.
Okay, Aaron, I'm going to take the van to go get some modifications done.
Okay.
Because we can't be rolling around with like the same license plate everywhere. Yeah.
Okay, so you're looking for a spoof chip. You're looking for a rotating license plate.
Yeah, all the ones that I asked for, or that I was going to do during that downtime are all pretty much just easy ones to keep us kind of low profile that we probably need to do sooner than later. So we're continuing the conversation. I'm just going to drive the van around.
Okay. Yeah, you your negotiation roll.
Spoof chip, morphing license plate, grid link, and grid link override. Run
it already
flat
has
tires
grid
and
link.
vehicle tag racer.
It already has grid link. It just needs a grid link override. Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah, that was part of your
Yeah.
negotiations. You got them to throw in the grid link for free.
Yeah. Also, sorry to derail everybody. Rash, I was thinking about this. We may have done it before. If we were to grab a bunch of those stupid church stickers with the AR tag on them, would you be able to modify one where we could track that specific sticker? So if for some reason we needed to slap those stickers on all the cars in a parking lot and just have one on his car that is slightly different enough where you can track that one, so it's an innocuous, tracking device. It's irritating and they obviously see it, but it's not going to draw suspicion necessarily. Does that make sense?
No modification needed as long as I have the tag's frequency.
Okay, cool. I just figured they're all mass produced, that it would all be the same. I don't know. My agents usually do all this crap for me, so I don't know.
Anything that is a registered wireless signal has a unique identifier.
Okay.
I just need that off of it, and I can keep it traced.
I may have hit an old lady with a van while you were talking. Sorry. Say again? Actually, never mind. I don't care. Never mind.
Now,
I
that
wasn't
being
paying attention.
said, assuming somebody like a CEO has the mods built into a car that, say, a paranoid Shadowrunner might, that whenever he starts it, it scans for tags and fries them, it's going to burn that chip off the sticker the first time he turns it on.
Why do you think I started getting tag erasers? Because people kept putting crap on my car.
Yeah, so his point is that it wouldn't work.
It might, but if he
They
has
take that.
his security team is being thorough, then any car he drives is going to be set up to automatically burn off tags like that.
All right. That was a thought.
It might work. It's certainly the kind of thing that could be done ahead of time to see if it does stay on.
Yeah.
If we can track down what car he uses.
Yeah. That wireless thingy that you were talking about, the thingy with the shopping cart. That wireless thingy that you were talking about with um would his car have that thing that you can track it easier, or is the CEO usually not going to have that?
Wireless thing. You mean just
Well, usually you can search for people in the matrix and find them. Well, can you find the car?
if it's broadcasting, yeah.
Hmm.
If he's got a security spider covering his footprint on where he's going, probably not. If he just blatantly ignores laws like I would expect a rich person to, then also possibly not. I might be
Well,
able to track it if we can get the information off of it once, but I mean, he could just keep it slaved to a deck to keep it off the visible matrix. That's what I'd do if I had that kind of money.
Could
so
always just tail it physically in a drone or something. Easy to lose sight of, but you can't fry that with a tag eraser.
True.
yeah. My other thought was with getting to know, like Knight said, getting to know the security and whatnot, could potentially find out if there's trackable items on the security staff that's normally around him, or could go full Seductotron and plant, items on the security staff that's normally around him.
Yeah, I think that all seems like good legwork to do for whoever is getting in with like security or people in his circle or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
People who are making inroads for information at the company. That all sounds like great stuff to plant or find or whatnot.
So in terms of people who can help us get through this, we probably want some, I think we've already mentioned, higher up contacts within Evo. Not
I
sure
mean,
if there's
it wouldn't
a...
hurt. I think there's some other options there too, but higher up contacts are potentially going to get more information than security guards.
Do we know how people feel about this guy? Loved, hated? I mean, if we can find somebody who would rather off him and maybe move into that role.
Maybe. We got a couple lines of thought on that outside the company. People we might be able to ally ourselves with for resources and manpower. But inside the company would certainly have some other advantages.
Yeah, I mean, getting to know some people who have a better understanding of the high up corporate power plays and stuff. That's definitely one of the roads that would be useful for gathering info.
Or just have access to his schedule. They've got his Google Calendar invite.
Right, but again, we'd need to find a way to get a hold of somebody like that.
So it sounds like you need two types of contacts. One of them is going to be well, maybe three. Somebody on the scheduling side, maybe an admin, or you might want somebody who's either like a director or somebody who's decently high up within Evo, at least. Although you do know a director at Evo. And then somebody within the security organization.
And presumably obfuscate it enough so that they don't know.
They don't know,
Or,
but we know that they know.
yeah, that we're gonna murder him. Because, like, it's true, we may know a director at Evo may or may not be okay with us.
Yeah, how do you ask that?
Boss.
How do you ask that question? Hey, bro, I'm about to whack this guy. You cool with that? Would this benefit you? I mean,
What's your opinion of this person?
Yeah, that's a tough one to really ask.
Well, I mean,
so if this guy were to fall down 50 flights of stairs, would you be A, happy, B, sad, C, distraught, or D, in a better position?
Or maybe just finding out how they treat him.
I mean, the risk point is real, right? Like either A, they're happy and now you've painted a target on your back, or B, the person starts thinking that you're trying to extract them. Like, oh wait, are you trying to extract me to another company? I'm totally happy with Evo. Blah 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 blah. Yeah, I mean, it is riskier, and it's somebody that you've worked with, which means you have high loyalty, or higher loyalty. So,
I don't know who we're talking about. So
there's a Samuel Gladstone.
Oh, is that Evo?
It's Crash Cart technically, but that's a subsidiary of Evo.
Aaron, it looks like the morphing license plate, the spoof chip, and the tires say that there's no real role for it. They're just all add-ons, so they could probably do that in however many hours you want. But the other one's a threshold 8 for the grid guide override. How long is that going to take?
So the tires are going to take an hour. The grid guide override is threshold 8 based on their mechanic skill.
Per roll.
Yeah, so it's an hour per roll. They have 14 dice because of the place you found. was actually pretty good. So that's going to take probably 2 or 3 hours. Probably 3, just round up. So
Okay.
it's going to take a full day for them to install everything, pretty much.
Okay.
And they might just quote you a price of, it's an 8-hour day.
I mean, that's pretty normal. But I just still don't like that idea.
Yeah, you might have got it done quicker, but they're a little too reputable. You were looking for something a little bit more willing to stay quiet.
I got 20 successes to pull the whole batty eyes and cleavage but I really wanted it done faster.
Sorry.
You big strong guys should be able to get it done so much faster. I thought you guys were the best.
Now they just feel insulted because they don't have the capabilities to make it any faster. I'm sorry, hun.
And I pout.
Bobby quit.
Installing the spoof chip is a threshold 2 hardware.
Yeah,
Really? Because it just said that it was just a. Well,
the
that's rigor
description.
5. Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's rigor 5.
Okay.
Yeah, so
And a morphing license plate
Oh, it does say that.
doesn't say that.
Yeah, because the beginning of
But
it
it
just
does
says,
specify they are standard pieces of equipment that can be purchased easily.
Yeah.
yeah,
The license plate is the duration to remove the old license plate and put the new one on.
yeah. That plus the tires is an hour, right? Like, this is something that these places do on a pretty regular basis. Well, probably you can do the license plate. I don't think it requires any hardware capability.
This manicure is new. So what sort of like legwork do we want to do, guys? Oh, also, the van's in the shop for a couple hours getting upgrades.
Well, it sounds like we need one or more people getting some inroads for information out of this company, either security and or upper management or something else that seems appropriate.
You do have a corporate fixer that you've been given the name of.
Which will help get some
Yep.
inroads on that. But we who even has the capabilities of doing that kind of stuff for long enough to get solid information out of it. So we're talking about needing to get information regularly for weeks. I mean, that doesn't necessarily mean like taking a security job in the building, but at least working with people, the same people over and over again, and not giving away what we're doing.
So who has the
Check.
skills for the long con is what we're asking.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds like either becoming someone's girlfriend or working there.
Both solid options. I mean, it could mean you become bar buddies with the head of security.
I think I like that option best.
Regularly start drinking with him, start getting him to say way too much about his job because he's far too drunk, and then eventually he says the information you need. Seems like a route, but one that you need to make sure that even when getting drunk, you can still not give away anything.
Well, I can you get the list of people that work security? Would that be something we would want to have Noise do since is it a she? Since they are not necessarily connected to us?
Seems reasonable. That way, if somebody figures out where the list came from, it won't come back on us. Yeah. And anyone else want to work on getting information out of the company? I think more than one avenue is probably going to be helpful.
I mean, beef wants to, but I don't think it's a good idea.
Aaron, I'll call Noise.
Okay.
Do we
Cool.
know do we know the name of the security company that they're hiring, or is it just Evo's internal security, or what?
Probably Evo's internal security for their own mega corporate headquarters.
Yeah.
You get hold of Noise.
Okay. Hello. I have a request. Kind of need some information. Need information on a megacorp security staff. Specifically, need a list of all the people, as detailed as you can get, but at least bare minimum, I need kind of names and possibly positions. The Evo Corp here in town.
You can see sort of this look on this guy's face. So when you get it, what you can see is it looks like he might be a gnome. Just based on where the camera location is, he's got a broader face, or maybe a dwarf. Sort of the jaw is dropped right now. Although you notice he doesn't have any facial hair. He kind of scratches his head for a bit, and he's like, "Just want Evo's security division's list of employees."
Could I have asked for more? I mean, I guess I can ask for more.
No,
I
it's difficult. More of I am flabbergasted at the things that you are looking for. I can see what I've got. There are some things that in that request that are easy and some that are very difficult.
what's easy and what's difficult for this request? Help me to understand. I don't do technology.
No, there's the challenge of the hosts themselves. The secured, like I can hit subsidiaries in sleep. But this particular, if you want all of the corporations, it's hitting multiple hosts, taking multiple days. And narrow it down would be beneficial.
Well, I need the security team that works for the, and I'll put out a call to everybody else real quick. It's just for the main arcology, right? The CEO just stays in the main arcology normally.
Probably.
Nobody's
We
done that
don't know
much.
for sure. We know he spends a lot of time there.
Uh, for the main arcology.
It's a little easier. So I can get you list. If you want to flow me new yen, that's fine. Otherwise, I can do this comp based on my good friend Fokain. But you know, sometimes it's good for a good back massage. But yeah,
We'll see what we can work out when you come back with the information.
yeah. I give you a call in 6 hours. See what I have.
Okay, sounds good. You know how to reach me.
Yes, yes. Yeah.
All right. So be about 6 hours, guys, for him to try to get information on the security team for the arcology. Said it can do all the corporations, but it would take him a really long time. So
I don't think
hopefully
we
this
need
is what we
anything
need.
unless we find out that he's regularly working with a specific security team from some other company.
Mhm.
Security at their main building is probably what we're concerned about. Which, I mean, maybe he contracts his own separate security team. That's entirely possible. To just have the same people that follow him all the time. But Even if that's the case, we'll still probably have to work around security at the building. So should still be helpful.
Anything else while you wait roughly 6 hours for Noise to get back with you?
Beef is going to do a basic matrix search that's just like the name of this guy, public appearances, schedule, to see if there's any public, like, he's going to be at a donor's dinner this day, he's presenting at an award ceremony this week. Let's see what happens. Oh, baby.
Whoa. Man, I should have like a tracker for the amount of times you get good rolls, Tim. But I don't think I'd increment it that often.
I'm able to unlock my comm link. Great.
Yeah, but can we have that tracker and then like every 10 or every like 100 or so he gets like a bonus?
No.
Just get one edge back.
Every 10 he gets a nerps.
I would say every crit glitch he can get an edge back, but that's in the rules.
Yeah.
As long as he doesn't buy it off.
Correct. Yeah, 3 hits on your search. You see that in the next like few months that there's no public appearances, and that it seems to imply that he is on. Sorry, I'm slipping back into my stupid, terrible Russian. That he's on some sort of not necessarily sabbatical, some very critical project for Evo's future.
So like it was previously he was doing some stuff and then he's just like sort of fallen out of the public appearances.
Yeah, you can see that actually it looks like he has not been seen publicly in probably about 6 months. And then previous to that there were some appearances, but they weren't very long engagements.
Are there like conspiracy theories and stuff going around about this? Like he hasn't been seen, or is it like he's just busy? Do I get any sense of that?
I mean, you get tons of if you go specifically searching for conspiracy theories.
Yeah, that's a bad can of worms to open up.
You get everything from he's currently seeing some woman that he wants to spend all of his time with, considering how old he is, he's getting it in while he can. You get things where he's been replaced with a doppelganger because the true father of Russian cosmonauts would has died, or that he's on a secret mission to Mars. You've seen that one.
That would certainly make it more difficult to assassinate him if he's on Mars.
Is that a possibility?
Although if we publicly assassinate his doppelganger or whatever, that could potentially fulfill our obligation.
Might have to stay on Mars then.
I mean, as long as we get the missile out of orbit, it should coast. If we do the math right, it'll coast all the way until it hits Mars, never slowing down, and then crater wherever he's at. Problem solved.
So it's the wanted bullet all over again.
So Aaron,
just much further distant.
Yeah.
Can I make a conspiracy theories roll to see if any of these have any legitimacy behind them?
I was like, this wasn't supposed to be a crit glitch on my computer's roll.
Theories as a knowledge.
Yeah, you can roll conspiracy theories to see which ones are completely implausible and ones that seem to have at least enough of a grain of truth that it'd be worth digging deeper.
Two hits.
The he's on Mars, that doesn't seem to have much teeth, specifically because looking at the corresponding evidence of rocket out of orbit trips, like you're not seeing anything that would necessarily correlate. You think that somebody's pipe dream of the father of cosmetology of the cosmonauts.
Father of cosmetology.
Sometimes English hard. But yeah, that one doesn't seem to have any teeth. In terms of doppelgangers, that one is in the plausible range for when he was in the public eye. Nobody got really close. Limited time engagements, like that's plausible. There's some really outlandish ones that you just immediately toss out. Him having a new girlfriend that he's in deep, hot and deep, like that also doesn't seem to have plausibility, just because his existing reputation doesn't line up with that. But the fact that he's out of the public eye, like that is of a bit of a concern.
Pretty sure he hasn't gone to Mars based off of recent rocket telemetry. However, that thought that he might be a double of some sort, there might be something to that. In which case, we may have to watch out for that if we accidentally take out the wrong target.
Maybe we should pull that string a bit. See if there's any truth behind those claims. I'm not quite sure how we get that information, but
any information digging going through the company might be able to turn up. He's had like a lot of habits change lately. We might be able to dig more into it elsewhere also. I do think while we're setting up to get information, we should also be setting up to make sure we're capable of pulling off the hit.
Is there any indication of the source of this theory? Is it like a group, or is this all just like anonymous message boards and stuff that
With the 3 hits
people are
that you
posting?
had, you were pulling them off of one of the more popular conspiracy theory sites, and so, I mean, you get some agent handles of like tried and true Rusky, or Evo Watcher, or the
So
Rebel.
they're getting posted next to theories of him like really being a reptoid sent from the sun to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what you get with 3 hits.
Okay.
Chaos has a contact she wants to call, but he's located back in LA. So I'm not sure how the time difference would work.
That is a good question. I want to say it's probably 10 hours difference.
Ooh, I'd say more than that.
I know India is like 12 hours off.
Is that all?
Yeah. Los
Yeah,
Angeles
5-8.
is 18 hours behind, so 6 hours the other way.
8:30 a.m. is 2:33 p.m. Different days though.
Yeah, it's a day forward.
GMT plus 10.
Okay, so if you were to call immediately after lunch, which would have been like 3 or 4 p.m., it would have been like 10 p.m.
Also, fun fact, ladies and gentlemen, if you have a Samsung phone, in the clock app, there is a thing where you can actually put in what time and location, and it will tell you the time at the location that you want. So if you're ever kind of curious what time is somewhere else, but not current time, it will actually do that for you.
Yeah, you can set up multiple clocks too, so you have like multiple different time zones.
Oh yeah, I have like a bunch of time zones set. But this is like a future, if you want to know what time it is at 6. Ideal.
Okay, so what it looks like is the easiest way to do it is add 6 hours to the current time, but subtract a day. So if you wanted to call at 4 p.m., it would be 10 p.m. yesterday in LA.
I mean, yeah, that would be fine as long as we're able to still contact them.
Yeah, you can totally call those individuals. Who are you calling?
Well, I have a master of conspiracy theories. I have an Alex Jones contact.
That's right.
He was the conspiracy theory master from a bar in CT. I don't remember exactly what CT was.
I do know which one you're talking about. You are able to get a hold of Alex Jones.
All right, well, I questioned him about some of these conspiracy theories that everyone's been talking about.
I can't do an Alex Jones imitation, nor
Yeah,
would I actually
you
want
don't have to do an imitation. You can just give us the data.
So you lay out the ones that you got off of Beef as well, like the full set. Beef sends like a beef dossier of his favorite conspiracy theories. The Alex responds like there's a couple of them where you see him reading it, like because the video has his face up and he's sort of flipping through the feed, and he's like, amateurs, like you would totally not, ever put this like did not do any like true research, like this is crap. On quite a few of them, he's like, the one that I would have expected to see is maybe CFD, maybe like some sort of illness. Like those are classics. I don't see those on the list. And the conspiracy theory in me says it's got to be one of those, because likely Evo is tamping down on those. So, like, if I had to take a guess, look for the pattern of what's not there.
Classic.
Yeah, conspiracy theories within conspiracy theories.
I mean, we heard it from the man himself. He's the conspiracy theory guy. So
He does reference the reptoid insurgents from the sun, and he's like, I like this one. It's creative. It's also crap.
I know you've told me it multiple times.
Everyone knows the reptoids are from Jupiter. God.
Yeah, how would a reptoid even live in the sun? It'd dry out.
That's where they move faster. You know how it is. But I like some things that stand out, like based on when he's been gone. Like I don't know his schedule, but I can only see the public stuff that is sent to me, like without doing any further research, which I could do. Like something occurred from the point which he was doing pretty regular like public appearances to the point where he's not doing public occurrences, and I would look at that time period to figure out what the heck happened. And these are all just sort of, they're decent. I like the body double. I think that one's got some legs.
All right, well, Chaos thanks him for all the information and wishes him luck on his chupacabra hunt.
Yeah, there's one somewhere in the sewers of LA. I gotta find it.
Sure, there is.
Rumor is it was imported by a Shadowrunner.
That's too unbelievable.
Wait, are we on this phone call?
No.
Okay.
Personal
I'll tell you
contact.
about it later, though.
Okay. After that, I'm calling Orbital to find out if he brought a stupid chupacabra.
A chupa what?
You heard me. A damn chupacabra in the sewers. Did you bring one back?
I've never heard of one of them chupa thingies.
Hey, Griff.
I think. Oh wait, it's not Burn that did that. That's right.
Well, who was the one? Which one of Dave's characters was the one that actually was collecting all the animals and stuff?
Heck, he did bring a chupacabra back through LA, but it's currently in Santa Maria, California, not the sewers.
Okay.
Always
Yeah,
a grain of
Fumiko's-
truth.
Yeah, Fumiko is deathly afraid of chupacabras.
All right, so you guys are able to you get some information on some of the conspiracy theories.
But I mean, that's not bad advice. We should look into the timing between him not appearing in public, or going from public appearances to no longer appearing in public. Maybe there is something there.
Yeah, I mean, if he's having some sort of medical issue, maybe we go in and we get him while he's getting treatment, or we swap it out for something else, or be good info to have.
Alive?
Did you say alive?
Or did you say unalive?
You got cut off at the beginning of what you were saying, Jake.
Oh, sorry. If we have to specifically kill him on those dates, what if this medical issue would kill him beforehand?
Mm.
Damn, that's a good run too.
Do we have to keep him alive until that time? God, that would be weird.
Well, not really, because I mean, does Jake have an animate object? Because once he's a corpse, it's just an object.
Just
We
pumping
can
him
weaken
around
him.
on
We're
stage.
gonna,
we can
weaken
weaken
and
and
burn
Bernie's
this
it.
bitch.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was out there. I like it.
That okay. That needs to make it into an SMH mission.
Weekend at Bernie's.
Either like the runners are hired to do something and they find out that the person's like long dead and their corpse is just being like toted around as a Weekend at Bernie's, or they find themselves in the situation where they need to pull a Weekend at
We're
Bernie's.
running this game just because Burn has previously used animate objects to animate dead bodies. Or well, mass animate, I suppose.
I mean, Ben, like I'm always looking for SMH writers, so you hit me up and
Right, that Weekend at Bernie's.
Well, I mean, in that situation, I would probably say that it's better to have the NPCs weekend at Bernie's doing the Weekend at Bernie's, because if you give the players the option, most of the time, just due to normal social constructs and squeamishness, they're probably not going to want to do it themselves. They'll just pretend like one of the runners is the dead guy. So it might be more fun to have them discover that someone's Weekend at Burnings, and then you have to like
Yeah,
you have to go track down the body as it's doing its thing, and then you go into Weekend at Bernie's too, where a Loa ends up infesting the body, and you're like, ah, crap, now we got to deal with that, and it's doing weird stuff. Oh god, it's on the news doing weird stuff. What do we do?
I'm thinking more the runners get hired to prove the body's dead publicly. And the bad guys have all sorts of, well, their opposition, whether they're bad or not, who knows, it's Shadowrun. Their opposition has all sorts of tricks up their sleeves to make it look like they're still alive.
I do like the original sort of supposition that y'all had made, which is, I think it was specifically Jake's. We have to keep him alive for 3 more days so that we can kill him on the right date. And everything he's doing is just putting himself in harm's way.
Oh God.
He's a lemming.
Johnson said he has to die on this date for magical significance.
Okay. So it's more of a Mr. Magoo situation.
Yes.
All right, so we got 6 hours for mine to come back. What were we going for next? Leg wise.
Got legs. Knows how to use them.
So as far as setting up ways to actually take the guy out, I think we should work up a bunch of backup to help with whatever we're going to do, whether that be getting good gear and like some teamwork training and stuff for like a sniper with a spotter or two, or it being working up some sort of like favorable background for a spellcast snipe or something. So maybe we should pick at least one option to for sure be going into this planning for, if not two, so that we can work up background material to support it.
Yeah, so right now, does who on this team could make a sniper shot? Like we're maybe thinking reasonable distance, higher difficulty shot.
Probably need to be either a sniper rifle or some sort of heavy arm.
Right. My sniper skill is not fantastic.
Could we get a drone mounted sniper?
That seems like it would be a possibility. Again, a reason to have prep time on it.
So it also, are we using that for an actual attempt at killing him, or are we using that as diversionary? Because if we're just using it as diversionary, we could, basically drug up any gang kid in the neighborhood and be like, here's a rifle, shoot at that building a couple times, go nuts.
If we just need a diversion, we can come up with that last minute. I think we should be working out one or two solid attempts to take him out over the time we have, and then if we need to come up with some sort of diversionary tactic to support one of them along the way, we can do that.
How much
I think-
security does he have rolling with him at any given time? Have we figured that out yet?
We have no idea yet.
We haven't even seen him at all, I don't think, have we?
Nope.
There's some past
Yeah.
trids of him doing public appearances that Beef would have been able to get. There was one for right around a year and a half ago of him presenting at the Far East University on Rusky Island, talking about the, sort of a commencement speech.
Unfortunately, that video footage is all like edited with conspiracy theory stuff, like arrows pointing to where he's actually hiding the ears,
And the tail.
non-human ears, and the
Um,
look at this suspicious bulge in his back pocket.
But you guys can watch the video, and if you have specific security knowledge, you can roll that against the video and get information, potentially.
I don't think I have any good knowledge for that.
No, I don't.
I do.
I think Knight does as well.
What?
I spent a bunch of training time on the boat ride over.
Security information, knowledge skill.
And Rash has VIP security. Figured it was specialized knowledge that would be useful.
Sounds like a very good one to have.
I've got to look it up. Sorry.
No worries. We'll start with Rashes then, and then we'll catch Knights. So with 2 hits on VIP security, you were able to quickly and easily point out that there are, it sort of pans back a couple times, There are individuals that are sort of located near the front of the raised platform that definitely have the look. And as the camera shifts around a little bit, you can see a bit of a shimmer that you think is some sort of magical barrier or protection in front of him, or between him and the audience. So easily you spot 4 individuals. You think that there are more behind the scenes. And there's definitely some sort of magical support.
And I'll kind of circle the 4 on the recording, and there's a shimmer of some sort of magical defense in place also. So at least for his appearance here, he's got probably 5 security minimum. I would guess more out of sight, but we can't be sure. At least 1 is a mage of some sort keeping a magical barrier up.
Combat. What's it called? Combat tactics. Is that what I need to roll?
No, security knowledges.
Oh.
I thought you had that. Or maybe I'm thinking of your other character.
It might be, but I mean, that's the background my character has, is security.
Okay, you can just roll your intuition then.
Okay.
I mean, it's likely that he always rolls with a security crew, but they may not have the same amount of prep if he's going to be standing still on a public stage for a while versus walking down a hallway or sitting in his office or something.
Wow.
Yeah, you didn't do much in the way of like CEO security. That wasn't really, you were more on the other side.
Yeah.
So yeah, it makes sense. You don't really know much about it.
More boots on the ground.
All right. Anything else in the sort of killing time until you get a message back from Noise?
Is there a bar somewhere near the arcology that's not necessarily in the arcology?
What role would I want? Bars and clubs, Evo knowledges, area knowledge, something map assisted, be a navigation role.
We do have a map soft of Vladivostok.
So which role was that, Fumiko?
Bars and clubs.
So yeah, there are tons of bars and clubs located on Rusky Island, which is where the arcology and main office buildings are located. As to whether they're Evo-centric bars, meh. Hard to tell.
So, gonna roll again, trying to see if I can figure out if there's any that Evo security might frequentish. That didn't work the way it was supposed to.
That seems to say, like, I want 6 dice that are greater than 5. They all must be hits. I mean, 5 hits is pretty darn special.
Yeah, it's like it understood exactly what you want.
Alright, so, doing a quick search.
I was gonna say I got 5 successes, or rather, my agent got 5 successes to kind of scroll through all the social media of the various different bars in the area that I was looking at to see if any of them can correlate, security type people, I guess. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. It doesn't really turn up anything. What you get back is a whole bunch of like cell phone me feeds, information of of each of these individual bars, you as a person sort of looking through them and being an expert in bars and clubs, you can visually like say like, hey, this is most definitely a corp bar. These people are dressed way too nice. This seems to be a little bit more salt of the earth, but it's still really well. Folks still dress really nice. You're not seeing anyone wearing like corporate uniforms. Like everything is quote unquote plain clothes, like what you would normally see on the street.
Screw it. I'll go for the corp bar. Let's get hammered with the enemy.
All right. I need a suitably Evo-centric name. Nah, not Evo-centric.
Evo spirits and beer. And it's just got a big barcode.
Evocative.
Ooh.
The name of the bar is Mendelev's.
All right. I will tell everyone that I'm going to Mendelev's to attempt to mingle and become friendly with corp folk.
All right.
The other one that seemed to be very popular was the bar, a bar named Kamchatka.
Is that the more salt of the earth, or is that the more?
It's more
corporate.
More salt of the earth for Kamchatkas.
I'll tell people about that bar and tell them it's a bit more salt of the earth, and they might enjoy it.
Since they're all salty.
Yes, and I will ask if Chaos wants to go, to the bar and meet fun and not very interesting corp people.
Like, not really. Is there like a target that you have in mind?
No, I was just kind of sensing out the field, see what we're working with, see if there's any actual usable targets in this bar. We can get any information regarding patterns or irritations or just any pressure points that we can use. Or maybe we'll find one of these guys has just enough problems in his life that we can, turn him to our side.
Sorry, taking notes of the names I made up because otherwise I won't remember them.
Yeah, where are these bars at?
They're located on Rusky Island. Specifically, let me go get my what 3 words.
Oh, sure, yeah, if you want to have specific spots. I was just going to find spots to stick them on the map so we have them, but you want to what 3 words it? By all means.
I don't like that what 3 word. Ooh, I like that one. Sorry, they've got to at least mimic somewhat of what we're looking at. So, this is where Kamchatka's is, which is rotate grief guzzling. I will throw it into the Twitch. And then the other one, which is the much more corporate bar, which is Mendelev's, is located at, zoom out a little bit. Oh, I like that one too.
I know it's the future. It's the future and all, but the first one is literally a industrial site. I guess maybe in the future the buildings they're building would be completed.
Yes. So none of the
fourth dimensionally.
Nobody has really done research on Rusky Island yet. So there's reasons. So out of character.
You posted the same what 3 words twice.
Oh, that's because it didn't update it. Okay, how about this one? Well, no, it didn't put a link, but that's the location of the other one. Bumbling hydrated coroner.
Excellent.
I kind of like those. I'm gonna delete the unused one. And that second one is Mendelev's. So let me edit the message so that we've got it. So what are folks doing while it sounds like Fumiko is going specifically to Mendelev's? I was going to tell you guys, out of character. So Rusky Island was the military base and a bunch of industrial stuff and ports and whatnot. In Shadowrun, Rusky Island is the sort of it's been purchased by Evo for the most part. There's a couple nice homes still located on it that aren't Evo folks, but for the most part, it is an Evo-centric island.
Are there any like Hollywood, LA style bus tours that go through and point out people's houses and
Not really.
buildings, and this is the oh, all right.
I mean, a good question though. Especially because your character spent a bunch of time in LA. Although your character is from Vladivostok.
Yeah, sure. He bounced around Russia a little bit, but he can be from Vladivostok.
Or you could be from Moscow. Like, it depends. Are you a West Coast Russian? Are you an East Coast Russian?
You just say you're from everywhere you go in Russia?
Oh, my cousin. My cousin.
Nico, cousin. Let's go bowling. Yeah, I'll say it makes sense for him to have grown up outside Vladivostok. And then he moved there to the city when he was a young and up and comer.
Okay.
I just wanted to get like a. Actually, yeah, I'll just go to Rusky Island. And I'll walk around and see what I can see. Try to get like a handle on the area, so I'll be taking some cabs back and forth, seeing what the local place looks like.
All right.
I just want Beef wants some boots on the ground experience in the area, so.
So when both of you, well, I assume that Fumiko's going to take her limo.
No, I'm using ride sharing right now since the van's in the shop.
Okay. And then Beef, how are you getting over?
I'll take a taxi or public transit or something.
Rash is going to take this time to look up drone methods of firing guns that we might want to use.
Okay. So Fumiko, as you attempt to get over via rideshare, the car is stopped before it crosses the bridge into Rusky Island, and they're asking specifically a bunch of questions in Russian, to which your driver kind of shrugs and points back and just like points. It says a bunch of stuff in Russian, which equates out to like, I'm a rideshare. I got hired to do this.
Oh, car service or whatever. I kind of misspoke, but yeah.
Okay.
Do I understand what he's saying?
Yeah, you understand what he's saying. And you understand the questions, which is like, you please present your Evo SIN or provide evidence of residency on the island.
Is he asking me or just the rideshare or the driver rather?
Both of you.
Okay, so I show him my sin. That's fine.
Okay. And then based on the sort of the car service. He's telling the truth, so I'm not even going to bother rolling his con because he's not conning. I should roll his etiquette. Typing up a bunch of random shit. There we go. I was using the up arrow and I couldn't find anything that actually had a dice roll. Yeah, he seems to have not offended the security guard, and they wave you through. Hey, Beef.
It's good.
Guess what?
Oh boy. Yeah.
Show me your Evo license or proof of residency.
Well, I have a Russian SIN. I don't think I have an Evo fake SIN.
He just sits there. And the guard just sort of shakes his head. I'm sorry, you are not part of the great corporation Evo.
What it costs 300 new yen to
Ah,
get one of those.
bribe. I've heard.
Is that about right?
Is it the widow's the widow's ball?
Yes, the poor little Risky Island orphans.
I will take either. It's not really con. I would take either etiquette or negotiation.
Either etiquette or negotiation.
Did you glitch on taking one of those?
Etiquette.
Yes, you believe etiquette is the right solution. Damn it,
Nailed
you
it.
got a hit. Oh.
300's a good bribe.
He looks at you and kind of those are exclusive tickets. 500 new yen is what. Although he says, for you, friend, I would do it for 2,000 Evo script.
I don't even have Evo script.
500 new yen though.
The orphans, it seems, might go hungry. And I just step out of the ride chair and walk away down the street the opposite direction.
You hear yelling from the car, buddy, you didn't pay, in Russian.
That's fine. I guess I'll go home. I'll find the nearest subway and go home.
You do know that there is a park that's located on the south side of that peninsula that there are you recall there being like sort of telescopes to look across the water. You probably could go feed it a new yen or two and
Yeah, I think I'll do that. I gotta get something out of this little excursion, so yeah, that'll work.
I mean, it works. I'm slowly bleeding you of new yen before I hand you back a 1.1 mil.
I know, I gotta make what I've got. It's gotta stretch.
All right, so yeah, Fumiko, you find your way over. Like, would you head over there? You're trying to get there before the dinner crowd, or what?
Sure.
Okay, so you go ahead.
It's always a good time to drink.
Yeah, you drop off the van. You negotiate with him a bit. You give him the pouty lips. You hop in a rideshare and head straight over to Ruski Island. You get through the check because you've got an Evo SIN. And find yourself in a bar at about 6 p.m. There's not a whole lot of people in there besides you. You and the bartender.
Is there a piano?
Is there a piano? Inside Russian bar. Just gonna pick the first image I see.
High class Russian bar.
Oh yeah, you're right. I should put high class, because otherwise what I get is something that has wood paneling, which and a piano though.
No. Then I guess it would.
It's only the low class places that have the piano.
No, the first one is what we get. So what you see is this place is awash in vinyl. All the seating is blue and red vinyl. Against the wall, you see this weird eclectic pile of crap or tchotchkes are sort of mounted on the wall. All of it's spray painted white. But you see like a cello and speakers and vases and a grandfather clock. The bar itself appears to be fairly nice wood, although it's evenly cut and has a chrome border on it. And the bartender is in this fairly up-class outfit. You can see like some pretty massive forearms as he's, shaking different or wiping things down. And he asks you in Russian what he can get you.
A white Russian, please.
Do they drink White Russians in Russia?
I don't think so.
He makes it.
Eating General Tso's chicken. China.
Actually, I have no idea what he said. I just tell a white Russian in English.
He says a bunch of other things back at you, which sort of like, it's very fast and very angry. But it appears that he's making you a White Russian. You know enough Russian to realize that not everything angry is angry.
All right, well, I sniff it to make sure that it spells appropriately, and I sip my white Russian, waiting for people to shuffle in.
It takes a few hours. Slowly, it gets busier and busier. They start having, like you see a live band setting up at one of the stages off to the side. I should take this picture and put it on the Discord so you can see what I was looking at when I was describing all this. But yeah, you do spot the place starts filling up. What you see a lot of is, folks are dressed in a lot of corporate wear. There's really nice suits, or some pretty fancy dresses, things that you would normally be indicative of high class. Like you can tell that. There are a lot of pretty young things, for both genders, for all genders.
I won't be broadcasting live, but I'll take photos and stuff for people to look at if they want to, track down any of these faces and see if any of them are actually like useful. Yeah, and just kind of mingle around, see if there's any information. I think I got 9 successes on my roll for it at some point.
For your etiquette?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're super polite and working and asking questions and doing your thing. At some point in the evening, a young gentleman is talking with you. He's speaking in fairly decent English. Wait, your character is Japanese by native, right?
Native, but I have 6 in English, yes.
Okay. Is speaking really, actually, is speaking quite good Japanese.
Sure.
And you can easily tell. Actually, roll judge intentions because I give away too much information for free. Not that I doubt your judge intention power.
I do have crappy rolls occasionally.
That is not crappy roll. But yeah, you can tell like he is making a pass at you. Very elegant. He like seems very polished and professional. Perfect teeth, perfect hair. Sort of that perfect blend of litheness that you can tell either he comes from money or just has really good genes. One of the two.
I'll snap a picture of him and send it to Rash to see if Rash can find out any information about this gentleman.
But he's.
Is he a
good?
Is he a player, or is he actually somewhat, someone with any inkling of power or status or something that we can use?
We'll give a search.
But as he's talking to you, your comlink rings while he's deep in conversation with you. Do you answer the call or do you let it go to voicemail?
Who is it?
You see it's from Noise.
I will let it go to. So, I guess I'll ask. Well, I don't know. I wouldn't know that. I'll answer it. I'll just be like, just one sec, and I'll answer it.
All right. So Noise is like, hey, I've got the information you want. I've also able to find some other interesting things that may be useful for you to go track down later on. I've got a list. I'm gonna send it to you via messages. That's all of the security for the arcology, except I'm noticing that there's a blank spot here. Damn you! He was actually gonna walk away.
Huh?
I'm trying to figure out what the 16 hits of seduction ends up being.
Well, it's the classic, run your arms down the shoulder while pressing the boobs in, and then give it a little kiss. I just have to take this call. Be right back. We can leave off when we.
Do you walk away when you're having the call, or do you?
Yeah, just a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the Noise is telling you I've got a list, but the thing is it looks like this group only covers about 2/3 of the arcology, and they don't have information on the security details for the other 1/3 of the arcology. Like it's not on the host.
1/3 of the arcology would be like, is it particular departments, or is it the top 1/3?
It seems to be the top 1/3. There's a couple floors that these guys visit, but in the main areas that these guys cover. But there's something else, and my natural inkling says that's probably has a lot to do with this is probably some of their more elite guards are dealing with those specific floors.
Without you doing any like actual matrix searches, do you know who would be, or what company or whatever would be in charge of the elite guards?
I mean, it's still all Evo. It's just a matter of they're not on this host, and this host was the easier one to get into.
Okay. I'll shoot her or him 1,000 new yen.
1,000 karma.
Yeah. Right. Actually, I'll shoot him 500 new yen, and then tell him that probably in a day or two I'm going to want him to do a little bit deeper dive. But right now, I don't want him to arise too much suspicion about it by just doubling down on his efforts. Does that make sense to him, or?
Yeah, he sort of nods as you say that, and like you call me when you need something. Hopefully I'm not out on a run, but we'll see what we can do.
Okay. And then I'll shoot the information to the rest of the group and ask if Rash has anything back on the guy.
Do I have anything on the guy?
You don't at the time. Well, you've got browse on, so it's a 15-minute, right?
Yeah, it halves the time.
Your search would not be back yet.
Okay, so still working on it. Nothing yet.
Okay. And then Noise got back to me, so here's all the information Noise had and a recap of the conversation, basically.
Which was basically here's a list of everybody not important that works for security.
Pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much. Sorry.
It is a list of 700 some odd people with titles.
I guess I'll go back to seducing the guy and conversating and whatnot.
When you get there,
Is
you see another young woman standing there where you were standing, and basically seems to be doing the same thing as you were doing. The slight bit of boob press, the gentle caress across the chest with her fingers.
That slut.
Wow, maybe Chaos should have gone.
Oh, catfight time, you say?
Yes.
Somebody about to get tased. And the best part is, I don't know who, because I've only got 5 dice. What does she look like?
She's probably a little bit taller than you are. Dark hair, fairly fair complexion, bright red lips. It looks like a data jack behind the ear, but it's fairly skillfully blended. Pretty big, gaudy earrings. Hair is done perfectly. Dressed to the nines. Although you notice not wearing heels, but is instead wearing flats.
I have a roll for
that. Doesn't appear to have anything hidden, or at least if she does, it's going to be very skillfully done.
Oh, that was a terrible roll. I got one on fashion to see, like, is this person... Is she, one of the normal corp people? Because the data jack gives me pause as to whether or not it's another team or if it's corporate person. Anybody else in this room have data jacks?
Yeah, a lot of them do. I would say probably 2/3 have them. Although
you said hers was more than averagely implanted.
Yeah, it looks like they've done whoever did that did a good job on making it blend in with the skin around it. So it's not unusual to have a data jack. There are actually still a bunch of people in there that are similarly equipped. Like it looks really good, but those are the ones that usually are dressed much better than the others.
Right. Well, I'll go back and do the, oh, who's your friend?
You get the, honey, this one's mine. And you see the guy kind of, actually, let me see, what is his composure? Yeah, this guy thinks he's a playboy. Ladies, we can all chat together. It'll be totally fine.
You know, the way you say he's mine, I mean, it's weird that you refer to your Johns like that. I didn't think they allowed prostitutes in here. I'll send a picture of her face to Rash as well.
I'm not a prostitute. I am merely socializing after a hard day at work. I know your work is just starting tonight, honey.
I look down at her knees and I go, "Yeah, it looks like you did a lot of work today. Those look rough." Oh, your feet hurt from wearing heels all day? Or did you have to take those off? Sorry.
Is there
I'd like to know what language the other girl is speaking.
she
Without a
is
character.
that is a good question. She seems to be using a combination of Russian and English in terms of the insults she's dishing out. So the most of the words are in Russian, but there are occasionally some English words sprinkled in. So I guess I
Start searching her as well.
could use a Russian role from Fumiko, since that's you'd have no problem picking out the English words. There you go. Yeah, you're catching all of this.
Yeah. Roll 20 wants me to catfight.
And I'm trying to figure out what would be an excellent war of words, because this woman probably has way more female insulting terms than I do.
It would probably fall under either con or intimidation.
I think intimidation is right here.
That feels about right, yeah.
Powerful Russian lady. Yeah, she'd probably have some intimidation.
But I don't do intimidation. I hire people to murder you. I don't have intimidation. My intimidate is usually I make a phone call and your entire group of people is murdered.
You don't come across as very intimidating then.
Yeah, your insults are rolling off of her back.
I mean, you should ask the Sons of Sion. Never mind. Sorry, my bad.
Too soon?
So I'm assuming that she would be considered either hostile or prejudiced.
I would say hostile, but not necessarily prejudiced.
Okay. And I'm assuming that her the desired result would probably border on annoying rather than harmful to her.
It is the annoying side of it, yes.
Okay. And then I'm assuming Fumiko is not intoxicated.
Not really, no.
Okay. You're not physically imposing, either one of you.
No, neither is.
Outnumber one another.
Nope.
No wielding no magic or weapons, and you haven't caused physical pain. So it would just be a -4 penalty, and the opposition would get a +2 if she has some sort of ace in the hole.
No aces in the hole.
So
Sure,
Fumiko gets a -4 penalty for the social modifier.
Wait 1 sec. I'm actually finally gathering up all my lovely modifiers for a roll. Let's see. You said it was -4?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
For an intimidate. Your insults are more cutting than hers. Of course, they'll have more dice than I do, so.
And that's a trash roll, too.
So she when you lay out your last set of insults, like you trade barbs for a while, like she gets red in the face. Like you must have said something that touched a nerve, and she looks at the dude who is just sort of sitting there, like he's got like a half smile on his face as his head's going back and forth between the two of you, and she's sort of waiting for him to defend her, and when he doesn't, like you see her push him into you, and then she storms off.
Can I intercept, or can I do something before she does so?
You can, but you're also getting a call from Rash with the result of the search.
I will hold off on that phone call just a second, and I got 15 successes to basically, before she turns off, grab her by the head and just lay a fat kiss on her and just, yeah, full seductron.
Let me resist. So she is hostile at this point. Like, is there one beyond hostile?
It's an extra -2.
Okay. I'm just gonna add dice because it's gonna be easier. Because seduction's already.
You need to go outside.
No, I don't.
Sorry.
What?
Sorry.
Aaron, do you use the piddle pads instead?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
What catheters are for, right?
Yeah. That's what the professional players use.
So
Much better than diapers.
she melts a little bit when you do it, but as soon as you pull away, like there is a slap that rings your ear, and she does storm off.
I tell her in my best Russian, call me. And I'll send her my comm code, oddly.
You see the dude who's been talking to you. I need to generate a name for him. He's been in the scene way long enough that he deserves a name. We're gonna go with Sasha Pushkin.
I'm assuming he starts to say something. The moment he starts to say something, I just put my fingers on his lips and just go, 1 sec. And then answer Rash's phone call.
Everyone's getting fucking put on hold today.
Well, just this dude.
We probably found for you.
All right, and you had how many successes? 4.
It was
I had 5 on the first one, 4
Yeah.
on the second one.
5.
on the woman.
So with the 5 successes, the woman's one will come in a bit later. You find out his name is Sasha Pushkin. Appears that he is some hot shot within the marketing division at Evo. An up and comer. Shows that he recently graduated, and by recently I mean within the last 5 years. High marks. And has just been on a rocket trajectory for the last 5 years at Evo. And let's see, five hits. You probably get a little dirt on him. He has a little bit of references to him getting arrested in college on some drug charges that were dropped.
Okay. I guess I'll seductron him and just kind of, use the, oh, you like bad girls, you must be a bad boy and whatnot. Kind of work my way in there.
When you had basically put him on hold again, you could see that he was still sort of recovering from your long passionate kiss with what's her nuts.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't given her a name yet.
That guy needs a composure roll to, see if he can run from crazy.
That is a good call.
Or a composer role to make sure that he's not, an early achiever there. I want him to last. I don't want him to, be done.
He he's intrigued enough to make poor decisions, and he has been drinking for a while.
All right.
Poor life
I
decisions.
will let him know that, or throughout the evening that I didn't drive. So if he wants to give me a ride home, and then let him take me to his house, etc.
Okay, so you're gonna use the evening to make a contact with Sasha Pushkin.
Pretty much.
You would later on get a call from Rash, where you put him on hold again. I assume.
No, I'll answer the phone call.
Okay. So you're putting Pushkin on hold again. Yeah. So Rash tells you she's able to dig up that he is that she there's the face that comes up, like there's like 3 or 4 names attached.
Kind of figured.
And that some of them, one of them looks to be burned. Like the name that's attached appears to be linked to some sort of crime of breaking into a laboratory.
There's my winner.
Mm.
All right. Ooh. Rash, what would you need? So I sent her my com call or com code. What would you need to be able to find her? Was did she break into like Evo type stuff or what?
The lab one that Rash was able to pull up was not for Evo, but from one of the double A or single A's within Vladivostok.
Okay. All right. I guess that's what I'm doing for the evening. What is everybody else doing?
Chaos is just going to continue what she's been doing for the majority of the day, studying magical security.
Okay. I think Beef stepped out. What's Foden up to?
Woden is trying to finish up his initiation.
Okay.
Knight's just going to be practicing his unarmed combat blades.
Okay. Rash did some searches, but there's still plenty of free time. And Chaos is...
Yeah, Rash was also looking into drone options for sniping, which the player I'm fairly familiar with what's out there, but Rash would need to take some time to look into it.
Yeah. You're does Rash read reviews? Like I'm trying to imagine like sniper rifle reviews or drone platforms as sniper rifle or sniper rifle.
He's comparing like drones on the market to like the size of weapon mounts required for rifles and what mounts will fit on what drones. And
okay, yeah, it's
a very short list of drones large enough to mount a sniper rifle or heavy weapon.
mm-hmm. So yeah, you're able to spend that time doing that. Beef, are you back? So it is no.
I mean, he like got onto the island, I thought.
No, he was across the bay. He tried to get on the island and failed miserably.
Oh. Okay, I thought you said there was like a secondary way to go.
He can go sightseeing.
Yeah, there's a park that's across the waterway, the straits, where he could attempt to sort of get a visualization of the island by just looking at it from a distance. I think that was what he was going to do to try to recoup some of his time.
While Knight is doing that, he's also going to make a phone call to a connection that he has that does ID manufacturing.
There is already. So if you were to would you ask the team about this?
Yeah, I would.
The team has a ID manufacturer contact in the area.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, S5E17.
Need to take you guys to more countries so I can make up fake Steve in multiple languages.
I'm just imagining it's the same guy with a different mustache.
Well, the fake Steve is clearly distinct in that he's a kid. All these other guys are probably in their late 20s, early 30s.
So what you're telling me is they're clones, and fake Steve is the latest incarnation.
Quite possibly. I did enjoy Falso Esteban. Like, that was one of my favorite fake Steves.
Fake Steve is the Boba Fett to their clone army.
Also, Isabella.
That was her. Also, Esteban knew or had been making deals with. Also, Isabella.
Yes.
But in this case, yeah, S5E17 is a contact that the team would tell you about.
Okay. And then I would try and get a fake sim for both Evo and Russian.
What rating?
4.
Would you also get licenses attached?
That's a good question. I already had a Russian, but I don't want to use it here. I would assume, right?
I mean, you can.
So,
I mean, it's good. This is more in general. I don't. Other folks on the call probably have other opinions as well, which is always good to ask. I like to have a couple burner sins, right? Like, all right, this is what I'm going to use. Like, it's a rating 2. It's totally fine. It'll get me through most public areas that I want to go.
okay.
And those are good to just sort of keep around. They would also be able to tell you, like, if you're going for Evo-based locations, having an Evo sin is going to be better. If you want to not stand out, Russian is probably a better sin to go with.
Okay.
They were Falshevi had mentioned being able to get a hold of, be able to make whooshing sins as well. So it really just depends on what you're looking for. The prices are normal prices now, whereas earlier prices were at a reduced rate.
Okay.
The 4 rating 4 sins you guys had earned as part of that last run.
Mm-hmm.
The question is you can also trade those in for different other forged documents if you wish, as a team.
Fair enough.
But I don't have that one, right?
No, because you weren't on that run.
Right. Okay. How much is it going to be, and can I negotiate?
It's
Use
going
my
to be book price. If you want to negotiate, the risk you run in this case is he may charge you more. So
Okay.
depends on how good you are at negotiation.
I've got black market bargaining.
That's a
And
knowledge skill.
Yeah.
You would have to use negotiation.
I got
Should
you.
ask
But,
one of the team members to help.
I also have that negotiation with 14 die in it for bargaining.
Nice.
See, there you go. So you could, if you so desired, you could try to negotiate with him.
So, as a note, just for reference, I'm not sure if you have the price in front of you. It's normally 2,500 new yen per rating. So a rating 4 would be 10 grand.
Okay. Yeah, 2. 1 Russian, 1 Evo, both level 4, and then just a level 2 burner one that's Russian.
Okay, so
that's
25,000.
5,000. Yeah.
But yeah, if you
Okay.
want to negotiate,
then,
you can try.
I'm gonna try.
Yeah, I'm back.
I've got this in here. I'm looking. That would be under what kind of skill?
It's an active skill, social,
That's what
Okay.
I'm looking.
charisma based.
Negotiation.
Don't see it on my list just to press the button, but I've got in Chummer, it's a charisma, and I've got 14 with bargaining specialization. So
How was the resolution of the cat fight?
I won.
Steamy.
But that's okay, because I'm going to have both the cat and the dude.
There's never any doubt in my mind.
Also, as a note, Chris, when you get a chance, just shoot me the PDFs for your character, because I've been collecting those so I can have a better idea of what negative qualities you all have, so that I can use and abuse them.
Gotcha.
Primarily.
Mine's out. Yeah, that's mine. Was that centered around that stolen gear with the vehicle?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think I've. What am I doing wrong?
/R or /
Oh,
roll.
slash.
And then a space between the dice count.
Is it a / or a / or a / I can never remember.
There we go. 2 successes. You whoop my tail.
So he's gonna want he's gonna charge you basically an extra 1,500 new yen.
Okay.
It's a rush job, you know. I've got to pay. You know, I've got many children from many wives. Like you understand how it is.
So let me help you with that. I'll give you 30 million. 30,000.
Oh, it's most generous, and he will. You can earn a chip with him.
Okay.
He has a connection for ID manufacturer.
Okay.
I should probably write his name down so that you actually know how to spell it.
Yeah, 30,000.
Do you want it in English or do you want it in Russian?
In Russian.
So the one right above the Chris Evans one is that in Russian, by the way.
Oh, I've got to create names.
Yep. Because the translator says this is how you spell Falshivi Steve.
That's true.
Yeah, and then the Russian or the Cyrillic above Chris Evans, how you spell that in actual Cyrillic.
All right, so this is just how I have it written down as Falshivi Stiv that way. Mostly because I think, tired of putting the double V because it looked like a W when I wrote it.
Yeah, it looks weird.
Or no, double Y. It's really rough on my terrible handwriting. I need to go look up Russian actor names. And try not to pick ones that we've already picked. So the first one that you're going to get is your rating for Evosin.
Okay.
And that's going to be Oleg Taktarov.
I'm trying to get there. Hold on. Level 4. Evo. And what is it?
Oleg
Oleg.
Taktarov.
Oleg.
The Russian one, Russian rating 4, is going to be Ravil Izyanov.
That's the level 4.
Yep, and then the rating 2.
I'm sorry, you're going to tell me that one again. I'm trying to write it down quickly.
They're typed in the chat.
Okay, cool.
And then the Russian 2 is Nikolai Batalov.
Rating to sin is totally the the really fake sounding Russian name.
It's yet another actor. He performed in a number of notable films between 24 and 31.
Where am I missing this?
It's in the roll 20.
Oh, okay. That's where I was missing it. I was looking at Discord. Sorry.
Hey, if you're out there on a list, could you regen me a Russian name? Because it doesn't look like I actually wrote down what my moniker was. Yeah.
Because I'm gonna have
I was
to.
looking back through my notes and I don't see it.
I'm disappointed.
Sorry.
Do any of these have lifestyles on them?
No, you have to buy a lifestyle separately, and then
Okay.
attach them to sins. Although for the most part, you only buy lifestyles once. For the most part, unless you choose to buy more than one, in case you need bolt hole or that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So
You're just picking which lifestyle which fake sin it's attached to.
yeah.
Okay, because I've
Generally
got
speaking.
medium and high on the 3 sims I have. The PCC's medium, the both Aslans and Aztec are high.
So yeah, you can choose which one you attach.
You're like living 3 full different lives off those sins, paying rent and grid guide subscriptions and matrix subscriptions and all of your daily activities for each one of those.
There you go. Beef, your fake sin is Pavel Chekhov.
Wow.
So if I introduce a gun in Act 1, I must use it in Act 3.
Yes. Or you're also. You were on. Wait, you're named after the. Yeah, you're named after Star Trek.
This
Well,
was
as long as
rating
we don't
4?
take him any near nuclear vessels, it'll be fine.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I should have done Anton Yelchin, which was the actor in the most recent one.
I'm really pissed he died.
I know, right?
Oh, he died?
Yeah, he got pinned by a car.
Oh, that's too bad. I like that actor.
It was really gruesome.
So. Okay, any other sorts? So let's make sure I've got all my threads. There's Fumiko spending the night with Sasha Pushkin, up-and-coming marketing guru. Beef, you were looking at things from across the sea. Why don't you give me a perception test?
That I can give you.
But most folks were sort of settling in, learning the things they want to learn, getting prepped. We've got a number of different ways to go attack things. You did also get a list of all the security people that work the bottom 2/3 of the arcology. So one of the things you notice when you look across the bay, you can see the university located in the northeast corner of Ruski Island. You can see there are immediately across the bay, sort of like a mini city sort of set up, and further back, deeper into the island, you can see the arcology sort of standing out amongst all the other buildings, standing tall and proud, with Evo's arrow floating above the building, spinning.
Okie dokie.
You do see a fair amount of drone coverage. All of them moving in sort of an orchestrated pattern that you've watched for a while. Occasionally, you will see a heavier Pelican drone come through, but for the most part, it looks like these are spotter drones.
What about access on and off the island, whether it be air, land, or sea?
With 4 successes, I will say that you do spot a VTOL come in. It looks like it lands on the arcology itself, one of the outlying sort of landing pads. You also spot that there is a ferry that runs to and from the island, which Blue would have learned about if he would have tried to tail those girls on the last session. And then you see the bridge. So from the direction you're at, which is to the north of the island, this is the ways that you're able to see.
Okay. There's no major ocean port, but I assume there's some various like docks and stuff that are on the sides of the island. Private docks, maybe.
Roll me a memory test. Since you grew up in this area.
It was 15 years ago, but
That's fine. It's still a memory test.
yeah, I was gonna say it'll just. Yeah, that's about right. 15 years ago.
You never really went to Ruski Island that much. Like you remember, well, also if it was 15 years ago, how old would Beef have been?
20ish.
So yeah, you recall like Yamatetsu moving in and then changing names and buying up a bunch of stuff, but yeah, you know mostly like most of the dock area was north of the island because that was all ex-military stuff down there.
Alrighty.
Yeah, you have no idea.
Okay. I will head back to the crash house, flop house.
It's a flop house, you see. Anything else
Also,
you guys? Go ahead.
Yeah, I was wondering for area knowledge, is the area that we're currently in versus like Vladivostok, is that going to be a different area knowledge for each one?
You can take it as specific or as general as you want. That said, the more specific it is, the more likely you are to get better information. Basically, it's like free hits on the test.
Okay.
So if you take Vladivostok as a large general area, then it would cover the sprawl. But you could specifically say like the Western Sprawl or downtown Vladivostok. I would say that you probably would have difficulty getting Ruski Island just because it is an enclave unless you've got an Evo Sin.
Nope.
So that's the only one I would say you couldn't really get easily.
Yeah, I'd probably focus Vladivostok downtown then.
Okay. Yeah, if you get that, then it's cheap and easy to get an additional free hit of information. But it does mean if you're looking at the sprawl, it'd be like a -2 on your dice roll. Same goes for LA or any of the other locations. Any knowledge skill, the more specific it is, the better information you're gonna get. It's always tough to take knowledge skills when I too freely give out the information. Anything else folks are looking to do? Info gather, set up other days. Like we can skip it forward a day if you want.
Yeah, like I'm not doing anything else for the rest of the day.
Okay.
I know about everyone else.
One thing I would say is I putting out feelers, letting we had the corporate fixer that we were being put in contact.
Oh, you're gonna give because you're given the contact information of him.
Okay. But nobody's contacted him yet.
We haven't been able to contact them about yet.
I was thinking of contacting him, just letting him know that we have a team that is potentially looking for work.
Well, I think we were trying to figure out what directions we'd want to take intervening work first. Sounds like now we may have some people that would want to do work to get in with with folks in Evo, but like they would not want to be on any jobs against Evo for sure, because they'd get potentially known.
Right. Might be. I just thinking making the introduction early on, even if we don't have a specific spin to the work that we want yet, so that we can be on the radar, so to speak, for potential work.
Okay, if you give him a call, do you give him a call?
Yeah, Woden's kind of concerned. Woden will give him a call.
Oh yeah, you give him a call. He speaks in extremely crisp and clear Russian, telling you that you can call me Obez.
Obez?
Yeah. So feel free to make a Russian roll. But he is easier to understand than most.
Oh, quick. It's being super slow now.
Doing the running man, very slow movement. Yeah, 2 successes. Yeah, you're able to. Yeah, you can totally understand what he's saying. How can I help you?
Well, I am new in town, and I have me and some friends are looking to possibly get into your stable of workers.
Okay, any
And,
specialties that I would benefit in knowing about?
well, let me. I just wanted to make sure that you knew that we were here and interested in work. But we just met a new friend, and I need to get to know him a little bit better. But potentially we would we want to make sure that we don't get on the bad side of Evo. Would be one of the only big concern. We have a couple of people who they've had run-ins before, and they don't want to ruffle any feathers.
Would these Pardon me for intruding and asking probing questions, but it sounds like you don't want to run, or you don't want any sort of jobs that could hurt Evo, or are you saying that you would prefer to hurt Evo?
I mostly just want to stay away from them entirely. Nothing. We just don't want to potentially draw attention from them. The if they there might be some bad blood if they end up finding out that my friends are involved, and it's just easier not to do anything with that.
You see him nod. And you can see like him. He looks to be orc, dressed very professionally. You can see there is a diamond in one of his tusks, or something
Nice.
sparkly, and he's like, well, okay, so you're looking for either street level jobs or with one of the many single A's in the area, or even possibly whooshing. I think I can keep an eye out for jobs in those markets and keep you in mind. I've got a fairly large set of jobs that roll through. I wouldn't expect the first jobs to be particularly well paying, just to keep you in mind as I get a better understanding of your capabilities.
Understandable.
But yes,
Yeah, something to start getting the new yen flowing would probably be good.
absolutely. The world runs on new yen, and we need to ensure that we control the world with its use.
So you said his name was Obez, O-B-E-Z?
OBEZ? That's his nickname.
Yeah. And I probably, like, when I called him and was making contact, would have who gave us who if he asked, I would have let him know who gave us his number. I don't think they specifically said like, "Oh, don't mention me."
He's like, okay. But yeah, if I've got jobs that come up in the next couple days, I will give you the first sort of view.
Thank you.
Paint me intrigued. We don't get full teams very often. Mostly I am picking and choosing from a set of individual runners to try to put together enough capabilities to... if you don't mind me asking, where do you hail from?
I'm originally from PCC.
Oh, interesting. Yes, we can definitely... I will try to keep... your Russian is fantastic, might I say.
Thank you.
I will keep jobs that involve high degrees of Russian at a minimum, though.
That might be helpful for some of my friends. They had some trouble picking up the language.
Okay, well, I will give you a call in the next few days. And with that,
I will.
Go ahead.
No, yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, he will pause for a good like 3 seconds, and then he will hang up if you don't say anything.
I just give him a nod and then and yeah, I'll hang up too.
Okay.
I will let the others know that I went ahead and made contact with the number that Noise gave us. He might have some work for us, and he's going to start us off slow, so that until he gets to know us better. I told him to avoid runs involving Evo for now.
I'm assuming you wanted me to try.
You can try one if you want to.
No.
Okay.
I was just saying, see, I still have all those.
Okay. Good.
I didn't need them in.
So,
You can try them. They're delicious.
all right. So you've got a connection into at least a corporate fixer. Just syncing up on where we've got. You're working on getting something within the upper echelons of Evo in order to try to get access to Anatoly's schedule. You've got at least a list of 700 some odd security workers at the arcology. So maybe painting through that. You do know that Noise told you that parts of the arcology weren't covered, and his guess is it's a different security team that's located on a different host.
Tomorrow I'll have him dig into that section as well.
And then a bunch of other sort of minor research as folks are getting things up to speed, learning about magical security, learning about the right drone platform for a sniper rifle shot. I miss anything? Sounds not.
Well,
Doesn't sound like it.
Yeah.
Okay. So Obez would eventually give you guys a call on October 3rd in the evening. So is there anything that you guys planned on doing for October 2nd or 3rd?
Beef is thinking about doing a little bit of training.
Okay.
Yeah. Rash will probably be trying to get discussion at least moved forward about like a sniper option.
I was gonna boost my long arm skill a little bit. Was my hope.
Depending on what we're talking about, gunnery may be the more applicable skill. That's part of why figuring out if we're going to use some sort of drone option.
Mm-hmm.
Which I found 7 options for things related to that. Really, I'd say there's 3 real methods to use for a drone related option. And that would be to actually position a drone somewhere or use a flying drone, which there's some options on. I think that's the most likely to run into getting picked up by security. Just because it's a moving platform that is a certain size that, you know, scans are likely to be picking up.
Mm-hmm.
Other options, we use a smart firing platform and set up a gun somewhere. If we don't want to have a person at it, which if we're afraid of, counter sniping or blowback on heat or getting tracked back before we can completely get out of an area, the smart firing platform takes care of a lot of that.
Will it fire on its own, or does like
can,
Spin Gem or someone?
Not amazing. You would have whether that sniper be trained in long arms or gunnery is potentially a bit more flexible, but it will be remote rather than in person is really the difference.
We could even break that platform down and smuggle it in multiple different pieces too, so
Maybe. I'm not sure that they do that by default, but we could probably figure out how to do it.
I mean, this girl doesn't know how to put that stuff back together, so whoever snuck it in, as you said, would need to know how to put it together appropriately.
They're not designed for easy breakdown and assembly. So yes, it would need to be somebody who knows how to disassemble and reassemble. So that would be an option. The other one for a drone delivery, that would have the rigger taking charge, would be the drone missile, which is technically using an explosive, but it's a direct delivery, like firing a rocket at someone rather than blowing up their building. It is theoretically interceptable, like any direct like drone assault like that could be, but it accelerates to a speed that makes it not impossible to intercept, but implausible for most interceptions to work. It's a fully rigor controlled missile at above the speed of sound.
We can get in a place where we can fire that. I mean, will that go? Presumably, that would go through walls and such. Although I'm not sure what level of.
Well, the payload on it is detonated however you want it to be, which means it could be the drone body could plow through a wall before setting off explosion
Right.
or glass or what have you.
That would definitely be a high profile kill.
Possibly. It depends on where we target it. I mean, as high profile as any sonic boom is going to be.
I
But
mean,
a low
high profile, like this is a high profile hit, so it's not necessarily a bad thing.
I mean, yes. I mean, it's potentially more high profile because there's could be a visible explosion. But if it was targeting him inside an office or something, it's potentially lower profile than a sniper shot when he's giving a public address would have been. Although it doesn't seem like he's going to be doing that.
Yep.
So it'll be very dependent on things. Shockingly, such missile drones are cheaper than several of the other drone options that would be on the table.
That is pretty weird.
I mean, it's a drone that's designed to be single use, so they've got to make it somewhat cost effective, I suppose.
Yeah, it's not like they're going to be calling in warranties 3 years from now, right?
Yeah. As an out of character aside, I'm pretty sure the intention is that it goes at around Mach 1. Depending on how you read the rules section in Rigor 5, it's either Mach 1 or Mach 61,000. Depending on whether you apply a × 4 to the speed rating or to the ground speed that the speed rating equates to.
I say let's
think
go with
it's
the one that
I
makes
think
the
it's
most
the
sense.
Yeah, so if you apply it to the actual speed rating, then it has the effective ground speed of a speed 24 ground craft, which is Mach 61,000. If you
I
apply
don't
it
think
to
that's what it
ground
does.
speed of the speed rating it's at, and then adjust that to ×4, then it's about Mach 1, which makes way more sense.
Oh,
The
speed
drone
rolls.
just goes into outer space, circles around the sun for a nice little slingshot maneuver.
All right.
Okay. So you've got plenty of options on. So it sounds like these options are fairly situational. So it depends on what scenario you want to go down the path of as to which one of those sort of technological solutions you want to utilize.
Yeah. The drone means our rigger would be doing the quote unquote shooting, which means we wouldn't need somebody else training up their sniper shots necessarily. Although people training to be able to assist the rigger in their piloting capabilities might be more relevant. As well as keeping the rigger off of sensors and like anti-air lock on systems. I wouldn't be surprised if an arcology of this size and importance has surface-to-air missiles. But the other ones are more direct, I suppose, with just an actual bullet.
Yeah, I don't. I assume we have a relatively high gunnery compared to long arms on the team.
Maybe?
Spin Jim, I assume, has pretty good gunnery.
I believe he does. Although Ben would know for certain.
Let me check.
I mean, either of the important attributes on that, we can certainly the physical capabilities to go with the skill, we can certainly improve on whoever it is to their maximum extent.
Okay, so you spend the next sort of day doing additional investigations down that path, because it sounds like you've got a couple open questions there.
Yeah, I, I think we should go with a platform, whether it's the supersonic missile drone or a stationary one. Just because I think it fits into our skill set a little bit better.
That's fair. It's also harder to trace to a given individual.
Yeah.
Because either way, we can just cut, as long as it's carefully handled without any, physical evidence left on the device. Then after the hit, we can just cut electronic ties and walk away, and shouldn't have much.
I was gonna say build or just like put a grenade or some self-destruct mechanism into the device itself as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, just when we're done, blow it up.
That is a good idea.
Without having priced rifles and the explosives to destroy them after they're done, and just taking a guess at what I know their range to be, that's probably going to put the missile drone and the rifle on a smart firing platform at about the same cost, which is a little under 10 grand altogether.
I do have the explosives, so.
Well, you have explosives. To make sure they completely disassemble weapons takes internalized charges in specific locations.
Put more explosive on it.
I'm sure it can be done with the ones you have, but we may be better off just acquiring the ones designed for it. Either way, that's not a large expense for it. Just like the explosive warhead is not the expensive part of the drone.
Do we have any possibly paying jobs lined up here? So we can keep our, overhead.
That's
Woden did.
I think.
Yeah, I got in touch. I got in touch with a corporate fixer that is going to is going to be giving us a trial run on some jobs here in a bit.
Corp for Evo or who?
I told him to avoid any work for Evo for the time being.
Okay, good.
I told just any work involving Evo, I told him to avoid for now. I figure worst case scenario later on it can be like, actually, we want to try and make amends with Evo, so get some work that helps them out, and or something like that. I figured for now it's just easier to just keep us off entirely.
Yeah,
Seems good. Yeah, get a little money under our belt, get a little bit of information over time. Yeah, once we can speak to our rigger, hopefully he'll be here next week. We can see what he thinks about running a drone versus a firing platform.
I mean, out of character, it's pretty much the same role, right? It's just gunnery for either.
No, the drone is going to be a pilot role.
To fire the gun, I would figure firing the gun would.
The goal is to ram the target at full speed.
The missile drone doesn't fire the explosives. It just sets them up.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I thought you were going with the sniper rifle drone still, or the other thing. I forgot about you were using the Garuda missile or whatever it is.
The Garuda, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the sniper on a drone was definitely an option, but it just seemed the most easy for them to pick up ahead of time and do something about.
Other than something sitting like 1.5 kilometers in the air.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a drone in monitored airspace that isn't, one of theirs or on their system.
So that's kind of one of the things that we're not doing that we used to do all the time is like reconning the actual site for magical security and exterior security and all that because
we haven't done it yet.
Yeah. We don't even know where he stays yet. Like that's the problem.
Well, even worse, we don't even know if he's still alive because the conspiracy theories and him not being seen.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, well, normally you guys do the something I plan to take 1.5 weeks, and you guys do it in the night that you get the job. So there's a little bit more hoops to jump through.
We're also not drunk this time, so
there's a bit of YOLO with our job running.
Wait, we couldn't do it early.
I don't do runs hungover.
Listen, guys, happy hour is at 9, so if we can get this job done before 9, I'm buying.
All right, so it sounds like you guys will end up doing some stuff on the October 2nd, and then you guys get a call on October 3rd from Obez, and I think that's where we'll end up stopping for today. And then I will line up the next run that Obez comes up with that is not an Evo run. Sound good?
Sounds good.
Yeah.
And you guys can always hit me up.
Perfect.
In between sessions. And I will try to answer questions or get things lined up for you.
It was like what, the second and third were like 1 and 2 days after the night in the bar.
Your night in the bar was the night of October 1st, yeah.
Okay. So like second or third, I would have went trying to find that girl.
Okay. I will end up having you do a bunch of hitting the streets, I guess, because you would need your character would know either they're in corporate espionage or they're a Shadowrunner.
That's why I'm looking for her.
And so doing the assumption, you probably have to reach out to your Shadowrunner contacts in the area if you're going to go down that route.
Was she broadcasting anything that I could have Rash use to try to find her that evening?
She was, and it was basically the sin that one of the 3 identities that were related to their picture.
Okay.
I mean, I can run a trace on the com ID. Yeah.
When you do, it's off.
Well, there you go.
All right.
During the couple of days we've got, Rash is going to try to just like monitor any. Not expecting to find a lot by doing it this way, but monitor any publicly available like info on what's going on over at Evo HQ, any video feeds I can find on like if there's any VTOLs coming in and out, any anything that seems more than just business as usual kind of um like high profile guests that might be showing up for meetings, or sometimes that kind of stuff is I'm sure talked about online, and like, oh yeah, they're meeting today to talk about blah 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 new line of products. And
Give me a matrix search, and it's less for like a direct search now, but a sort of a monitoring search.
yeah, don't expect it to turn up much, but it might at least give indications of like, so when somebody shows up, what kind of hoops do they have to jump through?
Okay, so one of the first things that sort of pops up, because you start setting up a whole bunch of jobs that are going to monitor this, and so you're testing it out. One of the things that pops up immediately, which sort of catches your eye, is that there is a scheduled meeting of the board for Evo on November 22nd.
What day did we have to kill the guy?
First 2 weeks of November, so before the board meeting.
Suspicious.
I think we might have found the motivation.
Especially when the other execs, so probably a lot of the people on the board, need to still be there.
But otherwise, I'll set that up as sort of your ongoing set of searches.
Without hacking into anything, I'm expecting to not turn up anything much, but public venues do sometimes get info that helps. Like that is a piece of good information.
Yeah, that one you found when you were testing against the one of the local beat blog news reporters on the street. So, otherwise, I'm fading. I do thank you guys for playing. Karma. We had the sexy bitch was a defending pool, so I've got that as a dice pool. I've got a list of things going here. I'm gonna say this is a 5 karma run.
Go sexy bitch.
5 karma and no money.
Only money out, never money in.
I mean, we could start robbing banks if you're really,
You're just encouraging mage run, which the mage has no problem with.
Yeah, Mycroft would be chomping at the bit on this because I gotta go buy me a new deck. Are you saying?
I was just. I had one quick question. I started doing my initiation on the boat ride over.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was doing for the whole 2 weeks. I wasn't sure when that would end up finishing at this point. I kind of lost track of the dates.
Oh, did you do the Arcana roll?
Yeah, I got like 2 or 3 hits. It was way back at the very when we were first doing the rolls.
Okay, and so that means because you're going for initiate grade 1.
Yeah, so I beat the roll easily.
Okay, so does that cut down time? I believe it does.
Yeah, each additional hit should cut off a certain amount of time. I don't remember. It's been a while since I've initiated, so I don't remember exactly what the timing
It
was.
it's not in the default rules, but I didn't know if that was something that you did.
We have.
But-
I believe we were just on the last roll. If you beat it by more than the threshold, divide it by your net hits. I think was how we were handling it.
But either way, like you guys, so you started on that boat ride on August 28th. It is October 1st. You've done a couple days worth of work in there.
Mm-hmm.
Likely when you pass through that magical background count, it probably threw you off for a day. You're probably at a month,
Okay.
or you'll be at a month by the 3rd.
Sounds good.
That is my rough take.
That sounds good to me. That's what I was confirming. I was like, I think I started like right at the end of a month. Been a whole month now.
Yep.
So, cool.
All right. Again, thank you all for playing. Hopefully y'all had a bit of fun brainstorming where to go next.
Yeah, thanks for
I
running.
loved hearing your ideas. I thought it was fantastic. And I am going to flip it off.
Rude.